Nose forward on the stick. Man Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is loose. 89, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Wow. Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, belated, whatever it may be. I did not anticipate it being almost 2.5 weeks from the last time I streamed to this next stream that we're going to do here today. And of course, like anything with flight simulation, everything was running perfectly smooth, everything was fine. I was like, hey, you know what, I'm going to reload the simulator, and then we're going to, that way I just, dump the memory bank or whatever and be good to go for the stream. It took 20 minutes to load the sim up. I don't know what happened. I force quit it, reloaded it. Something with the FENIX app was hanging. I had to restart the FENIX app. Ay. But we are finally back. What a way to start the first stream of the year, a little bit late. I guess it's a little bit of that Southwest. I mean, we are leaving a FENIX Southwest hub here, so maybe a little bit of that is blending over into our American Airlines flight today with VAAL, the virtual airline as well. So we're kind of doing VA Friday a day early. I am super happy to be back with you guys, be back live on the channel. Good to see you guys here. Rusty C starting us off with a membership celebration chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for the continued support, Rusty. He says, hello, sir. Feels like an age since I caught you live last. Just been learning the 310. Excellent aircraft considering it's free. Rusty C. No, it's been way too long. between streams here, but just we'll talk about everything that's going on. But glad to have you back and hope you're enjoying that 310, man. Welcome back to the channel. Jeff L, thank you for the continued support as well, man, for 6 months. And of course, thank you for coming back to see us. I wasn't gonna leave you guys. So my members out there, I was posting some shorts videos here and there, but it was just, man, we had family in town. I was flying. I picked up some extra flying, and then just a bunch of stuff going on. So it's gonna be back. We're live. I think I got some things I got to catch up on. I actually think I have to connect us to what is this, VPilot again. I got to reconnect us to that. Let me just connect the stream, and then we're going to get things loaded up here. We were supposed to be off blocks at 11:30 or 17:30 which I don't believe is going to happen. So Piedmonter, if you're in the house, sorry about you, man. Gonna have another delayed flight here on the VAAL. Let me just get our type code into VATSIM here. We're an Airbus A320. We are operating is American 2555 or 2555. So we've got that set up here. Lovely 320 livery here. Man, this sim is looking good. It was looking so sharp earlier too when I restarted it. So I was like, hey, I'll just restart and be good to go. Of course, problems. Flight Force, thank you for the continued support, man. This guy is back. This guy is back. This guy is back. Flight Force, absolutely, man. Welcome. Glad to have you back on the stream, my friend. All right, and Callie Simmer, before we even get popping, Callie Simmer is already back to his normal awesome support here with the subscription membership gift. You guys are absolutely pick those up, pick up a membership. Shout out to Callie Simmer. Thank you so much, man, for being very, very generous and gifting 10 more memberships. Callie Simmer, it's been a while. Hope you've been well. Hope you had a good holiday season and a happy new year. Glad to have you back here on the channel and live. Glad to be with you, man. All right, I'm just getting my ACARS booking loaded up here as well with VAL per VAMSIS. That is good. We're loaded in. I know you can't see it, but that's checked. And then let me do the last thing here, Fly Live Studio, so we can get the overlay up top so you guys aren't asking me a million questions where we're going. That's like the number one thing is whenever something happens with Fly Live up on top of the screen, it's like the world comes to an end. So let me go ahead and get that in there. Today we're American AAL 2555, so that is set there. And if I relaunch this, it should populate it. Boom, there we go. We're live. We're back at it. We're back in action. We got 20 more gifted subs from Mike P in the house. Mike P gifting 20 more additional subs. I'm gonna get the catering service going right now because we're gonna need some new catering with all the new members we got here. Mike P, thank you so much, man, for the additional gifted subscriptions. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the alert box because every single one of those subscriptions that'll come on, we will have a seatbelt sign go off, which I absolutely love hearing that sound. Courtesy Jeremy Harvey, shout out, man. Thank you for the sounds on the channel. But you know, start doing 20, 30 of those in a row, it could get a little bit distracting. So thank you so much for the support. And Miggs, thank you, man, for super chatting as well. He's hit that like button, my fellow passengers. Indeed, let's see how many likes we can get. Let's just get good vibes going. Let's smash the like button. Let's get as many likes as we can before takeoff, before engine start. If you're here right now, just smash that like button because you've obviously missed me. I've missed you. We only have 71 likes, 200 viewers. Those are rookie numbers. We got to bring in 2023 stronger than that. All right, let's do it. John Nowajika, totally screwed that up. My apologies. I'm just going to call you John. Thank you, man. V1 back again. Yes, sir, I am. Thank you for the continued support of 11 months, man. Absolutely awesome. We are flying Phoenix, Arizona, America's friendliest airport, to San Francisco. We're looking to get into some trouble with some weather up there. So first things first, let's get this airplane fired up. It's been a minute since I've been in the sim. This is literally my first flight since the last stream we did in the Mad Dog. So hopefully everything's going to go off without a hitch. We've already had a little bit of a hiccup here today, but I've been flying in real life a lot. I got a ton of stories. I did a freaking ILS to absolute minimums in LaGuardia with the freaking crosswind of like 30 knots. That was wild. Had all kinds of snow, de-ice stories going on. I mean, just it's crazy how much has happened in the last 3 weeks. Real world. I did a what was it? 500, 400. I can't remember what the RV. I think it was like 300, 500, and 600 rollout, or 3, 6, and 5 rollout RV. Super low visibility departure. It's been absolutely wild. So I can't wait to talk about all that stuff today. We're going to do that, but let's get the airplane fired up. We are operating this flight under the VAAL brand, which means we need to be on our toes with procedures, and we need to make sure we are doing everything as we can according to our SOPs over here at the VAAL Airline. And I'm going to go ahead and put that there. That's good. Are you off? You're in the auto position. We're going to go nav position 1. That's off. Auto. Arm the emergency exit lights. Fuel pumps can stay off. We'll do a full-blown test here. Time to cue up Pink Floyd's Learning to Fly, Rick. Indeed, man. Captain Solus, happy to see you again. It's been a year. Man, it's been a while, Captain Solus. I haven't seen you since last year, indeed. Welcome back, man. I hope we get an IAE Phoenix this year. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be absolutely awesome, getting an IAE Phoenix this year? On the cabin calls. What do you mean cabin calls? There's no cabin calls that I'm aware of. That's us. We already 13 minutes to departure. That's not going to happen. Pete Monitor, my bad. So Pete Monitor is basically the CEO of VAL. All right, so it is what it is. We'll go over here to ground services, and you know what? Before we do that, airplane is coming back to life. We already have a company message. That's us here, a NIT, and we're gonna pull that over. Let's use our second McDude. Come over here, and we're gonna go into. Uh-oh, what? Uh-oh, what happened? Did we lose you? Minor heart attack? What happened? We lost the stream for a minute? Everything looks good on my end. Hopefully it's just a YouTube thing. YouTube's been a little funky. I've noticed a couple other videos I've been watching, a couple other live streams, and seeing some stuff. Maybe it's a YouTube thing. Everything's good on my end. We got good internet. Everything is solid right now, so hopefully everybody's back. All right, all good now? Awesome. Let's go over here. Load sheet. That's already done. We'll accept that. And then I'm going to come up here to GSX. We'll do a sim brief. We'll do this. Ding. And we're going to go ahead and request boarding. So they're going to go ahead and request boarding. We already got the Sky Chefs on board. Man, look at that view right there, huh? Isn't that cool? Oh, look at that old school retro American 7.3 with the T-Way livery. Just saw that the other day, actually, in real life. YouTube missed me too, Fubar. I know, it really has, man. YouTube's missed me. Microsoft has missed me and delaying everything. There we go. We're closing doors. Catering is done. People are coming to the aircraft. We're going to be up and out of here, no worries. Exclamation specs, Wahib, if you want to know my specs for the rig here. There was a hiccup in the stream. It's fine now. Cool deal. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be good. And let me go ahead and turn you back on. So that's good. Personnel animation. Yeah, this is GSX. And they're going ahead and closing the door. We're locked and loaded. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and hit the magic barrel ref key. And since we might as well at least try to get out of here on time, right? I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll try. We're American 2555. This is a real-world route, a real-world flight number, operated by the same airline, so it's pretty cool to have all that done for you if you like realism. I mean, this is the way to go. Now, I'm going to bump up the cost index on myself here. I know my sim brief flight plan is a little bit slower, but I'm trying to make up time for our on-time arrival here. And we are filed at 38,000 feet. So we'll put 380 in the box. We'll go ahead and
Sky
align on
Chefs
rev.
better roll on some bigger booze carts. Just saying. Happy New Year 5-1.
Oh my goodness, and I just noticed that there was multiple donos that I didn't even see because the alert box was muted. Let me get to them right now. C2A, thank you for the $3 super chat, my friend. It says Sky Chefs better roll on bigger booze carts. Yeah, we might have to call him back here, no doubt about that. Thank you so much, C2A, for the $3 super chat. And Callie Simmer, I see your $20 super chat, my friend. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. I had the alert box muted because of your super generous membership subscription, so it's your own fault that I didn't see it, but I'm just kidding. I do apologize for that. He said, holy smokes, V1, it's been a while. Literally turned a year older. Birthday at end of December. Well, happy belated birthday to you. Happy New Year, and I'm so happy you're safe and back. Kelly Simmer, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support and love, and thank you for that massive $20 dono. Bank angle check-in right back at you. So appreciate you, man. You guys are too kind. I love the support. You guys, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's get back on track here. We've done pretty much of our initial flow. Our hydraulics are good on this airplane. I had an airplane the other day that did not have good hydraulics. Had to write it up, had to get that serviced. That was a delay. Then we had to get de-iced. Then we had to get more fuel. So that's a story for another time. Engine oil looks good as well. Pressurization is in auto. Everything looks good. We'll come back to the door page. Let's go ahead and get the rest of the box loaded up here. And before we do that, let's use our handy dandy EFB. But what I'm going to do here is we're going to go to weight and balance. We're going to load aircraft instantly. So we're going to load instant load. We're only taking 94 people, and we're essentially just waiting for GSX to board. Request boarding. Why aren't we boarding yet? Boarding requested. There we go. So they're going to start boarding, hopefully. We've already done the instant load for weight and balance purposes, so now let's look at the main page for weather. We'll go back to my flight and departure. Phoenix METAR, wind 090 at 7. Great, it's going to be a long taxi out to, actually, yeah, it's going to be a long taxi out. We'll go off of runway 8. Pretty much good there at 3015. So let's come down here. Let's initialize the rest of our flight plan. We're going to departure off of runway 8 today, and we are on the Keynes 2 departure procedure. So we're going to load up Keynes 2, and we're going to go out to the harbor transition. Insert that, and then we should have Curve and J212 in there. So there's Keynes 2. You can see it's a long departure. There's Curve, J212, DCAS, Palmdale, Avignon, Makers Mark, Surfer. And then from Surfer, we're going to join the Surfer 4 into San Francisco. Now, the last I checked, the winds were a little bit spicy over there. So let's pull up... let's do this. Let's go Arrival METAR. Winds right now, 180 at 17, gust 2-4. That's not too bad at all. Pretty much scattered. Looks like that weather is blowing out of there, but we might have a little bit of wind on landing, which will be fine. Let's go ahead and load up. If winds are 180, they're probably going to... What are they landing over there? Are they really doing 19s? I can't remember last time I landed on San Fran on 19. Let me go to JEP Navigraph. Let's take a look at the predicted runways here. Yeah, 19s at SFO today. Wow. I have not landed 19s in San Fran in a very, very, very long time. Let's see. And that's just because I don't go there very much either, so. What am I looking for? We're looking for ground 10-9, so I get an idea of the layout here. Yeah, 19. Shoot, 19? Yeah. 19er... What do they do? 19er left for takeoff? I guess we'll play on 19er right. 19er left. 19er left for landing. We'll do RNAV 19er left. And we're coming down the Surfer 4 RNAV. We're right in Phantom 320's neck of the woods here. Surfer 4 RNAV. We'll insert that. Let's take a look at the plan view here and make sure we don't have any crazy things. We'll put constraints on, and let's step through this right now. So we're going to make a nice hard RNAV turn. They'd probably send us to the other departure runway as well, since we're turning south over the complex, but that's fine. Now Burks has us going way out here, which I don't know if we'll deal with. We'll deal with that when we get there. That doesn't look quite like we're going to do that exact plan, but we got high terrain out here in Phoenix, so we're going to go ahead and get our terrain mode on. No ATC in the immediate vicinity, so we'll set our cruise altitude here in the FCU of flight level 380. That is set right now. That is set. Constraints on, constraints on. I've got terrain up on my side. What we can also do is set our init B page up since we have our load information. So we'll zip back over to weight and balance. ATIS is 19er left for arrival, and for arrival 10 left and 10 right for departure. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. So we'll do 19er left for arrival. Is there a reason you don't import winds on the init page? I just, in the sim, I don't do it half the time. Now in real life, yeah, I do it. And then the other pilot monitoring, for me or for where I work, that's really a pilot monitoring thing. So at top of climb, we'll always we'll update the winds as well at top of climb. But you know, short flight like this, not going to make much of a difference. We got a ton of gas, but yes, if you want to be a good, thorough pilot, you should import the winds. But you know, 2-hour flight like this, it's not going to do much. What was I doing here? Oh yeah, we got to get our init weights. 118.2 and 27.5 is what we're looking at. So we'll do 118.2 and 27.5? 27.5. Boom. And how's our block fuel? We've got 19.3 on board. 19.3 is required. It is on board in balance. So we'll put 19.3 here. And we'll go up here. We'll go fuel pumps on. we'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on. We'll get the AP ready to fire up here. So why do they only input winds at 10K? Why not on the ground? It's, you know, wind input, that's another thing that's going to be super company specific. Some airlines will probably do it on the ground, some at 10. We do it at cruise, we do it at initialization, and then we do it at top of climb, and then just update the winds whenever you feel like you need to update the winds. Now, depending on how your software works, for us, when we get a ACARS uplink, for instance, when we get our clearance, so we get a digital clearance, right, most of the time. When we get that digital clearance, it will uplink into our box with the current winds, so you don't need to manually put them in. Now, back in the day, before doing that, we always had to put them in manually. But for me personally, on my day-to-day operation, you get that uplink with your flight plan, and it will have the updated winds, and then we just update them again. Pilot monitoring will when we reach top of climb. So that's why you really don't see me do it on the ground here too much. Now, if we were doing a transcon, oh yeah, we're going to double check, triple check winds, because that can really make a difference, especially, you know, in the winter times here in the US. You get those jet streams coming down. It is extremely important to monitor the winds aloft. And in fact, we've had multiple routes, just me flying personally the last couple of days, because of winds being so strong. I think the other day we had 170 knot headwind coming back to Dallas. It was absolutely crazy. And then just yesterday, 2 days ago, I went LaGuardia, Dallas. So basically, Dallas to LaGuardia was 2 hours and 40 minutes. LaGuardia, Dallas was 3 hours and 58 minutes. So quite the difference there with winds. All right, FENIX off runway 8. Surface is dry. We'll sink the final. We're doing optimum flaps, absolutely forcing Toga, which will be wild with 97 people on board. Anti-ice off, packs on, and sync live weather and calculate that, please. Do you approve the 320NX? Yes, I do. I love the fly-by-wire 320. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to check it out here pretty soon. Maybe in the next couple streams we'll fire up the 320 fly-by-wire, see what the progress it has been. All right, 26, 32, and 34, flap 3. Interesting. 126, what did I say? Oh boy, where's my camera? Where's my mouse? 26, 32, 34. 26, 32, 134. Boom. Flaps 3, we're up 0.5 on the trim. That looks good. We're basically just waiting for the rest of the passengers to board. We'll see if we get out of here. Let's fire up the Apu. We'll take a listen outside. They're doing bags. Oh yeah. Juice up the sound. Yeah, flap 3 out of here, kind of interesting. Fubar. Yeah, indeed. Guru, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. How about the TCU heart attack? Just a friendly reminder, Michigan was undefeated too. Fear the frog. LW, man. I saw your message in Discord. That was a hell of a game, man. Wasn't it? A lot of fun. We partied so hard I don't even remember much of the game anymore. But it was fun to see them upset Michigan. I was pulling for them hard. There's a lot of irony in the game, in the championship game coming up here on Monday. Georgia versus TCU. We might get into that here in cruise in a little bit. But it should be a good one. You know, the Bulldogs, though, they got a good football team, man. They got a good football team. So it'll be, I hope, if anything, you know, I obviously want TCU to win, but I hope it's just a good game. You know, I hope it's a competitive game come Monday. APU sounds amazing. They do, Jeremy. Is FENIX going to get a decent scenery anytime soon? Callie Simmer, yes, I believe. Is it Flightbeam? Is Flightbeam working on it? I think Flightbeam is working on it for Microsoft. Maybe it's not. I thought it was Flightbeam. Georgia got extremely lucky with the missed field goal at the end. Yeah, they did, man. They did. But you know what, Tony Johns? They got lucky with the missed field goal, but is it luck or is it their defense that stopped them? Is it timeout, the ice? You know, good teams always find a way to win when they're not playing their best. Because I don't think Georgia played their best. I think it's pretty fair to say Georgia did not play their best for the majority of that football game. But great teams, championship teams, always find ways to win when they don't play their best. So it should be good. It should be good. Like, TCU played their best against Michigan. And Michigan, I don't think, was a championship caliber team. That's why they ended up losing that game. But wonder why calculating flaps 3 at takeoff. The only thing I can think of is, well, we decided to do a Toga, no flex, and we're going into a mountain there. I don't know. You know what? I'd have to really break it down, but We're going to roll with it. It'll be cinematically pleasing as well. Wouldn't lack of wind uplink affect top of descent calculations? Caro, it myself included back in the day, as I would fire up the sim, launch the airplane, and go do something else in cruise. But in real life, you're sitting up there during cruise, so you have a lot of time to plan and prepare, double check things. We start our briefings about 250 miles from the destination, so those are all things that should be taken into consideration. Yeah, that's definitely, I don't know why that's happening. I would assume that's a YouTube thing. That's locking you guys out. I'm sorry, I don't know why that would be. On my end, everything is looking legit. There's no interruptions to connections, so whatever you are seeing, maybe it's a YouTube thing here. Is it possible to overspeed a turbofan? Yes. Yes, it is possible. Holger Deutsch, member of 32 months. Happy New Year from EDDF. Holger Deutsch, thank you, man, for your continued support. Very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. You've been a long time member. 32 months. Geez, what is that? So 24 is 2 years. 36 is 3 years. You're almost a 3-year member here at the channel. Holger Deutsch, can't thank you enough for the continued support. Thank you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Happy New Year to you as well. All right. That boarding is completed. That's good. Our takeoff briefing, we're basically going to start, we'll start one engine. We'll start a single engine taxi out, and then we'll start the second one on the roll. We've got terrain in the area. We're going up to 380, no ATC. Our speed's in the box. I'll have terrain up. If we lose an engine, we're basically going to make a left turn back to the FENIX VOR and hold. And then we'll figure it up. We'll speed up, clean up. We're pretty light today, though. We're not super heavy, so I'm not too worried about that. What we can do is get the Navigraph FENIX chart out, so we are somewhat ready to go here. FENIX 10.9 airport info page. And yeah, as far as our taxi, we'll just go out basically Charlie 1. We'll take Charlie all the way down full length. So that's our taxi brief. You've been briefed. I've been briefed. Let's go ahead and set up our radios on Unicom 122.8. And I need to change my push to talk, because the last time I had it, it was for the Mad Dog. So let me rebind that. Clear that. Apply. Okay. There we go. Push to talk is working on that sim. Bet you flap street because the Keen's departure off 8. 7 right takes us south with no terrain, but lots of foothills. Camelback on the north side. Yeah, Tony Johns, it could be something with the departure. Not entirely sure. But yeah. Hopefully we'll be all right. All right, looks like we're all buttoned up, ready to go. What's our time? Oh, yeah, we missed our off block. That's all right. Let's prepare for pushback and departure. And let me just check my... Do you want to start engine before pushback? Nah. There is our OFP and our map page here.
Finally soloed the full international delivery flight process yesterday with 971. All went great -2 hours delay and RTG ferry and G1 issue. Supposed to start RNPR/LPV implementation program this month. I'm never gonna...
I'll cut off there. I'm never going to be able to get back to consistent streams. Oh, man. Wrong side sim. Thank you so much, man, for the $25 dono. Bank angle check right back at you. Crazy. Initial delivery flight process, all in great. 2-hour delay for routing and engine 1 issue. RMPLPV, that would be freaking awesome. Never going to be able to stream consistently again. Wrong side sim. I'm sure you will, my friend. I'm sure you will. Thank you for the continued support, man. I know you guys are working super hard over there. Hope you get some time here in the coming weeks to get back to streaming consistently, because you got the hell of a setup over there, man. Wrong side sim. If you haven't checked him out, guys, Real World Dispatcher. He's got one nice little setup as well for the Airbus rig. So, thank you for your continued support, Wrong Side. And thank you for your continued hard work at the real operation. We couldn't do it without you, man. You guys are absolutely clutch. So thank you. We are going to go nose left, tail right. And we're going to go tiller cam online. Waiting for your chocks, and that's right, that's on me. So let's come back here and go here. And go here. And before we electrocute anybody, let's go here and here. And now we can go boom, boom, boom.
Release parking brakes.
Brakes are released. Clear to push.
Commencing push.
Callie Simmer with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He says, did you hear about the horrific accident in Alabama? I did. Into the 170 ingested. Yeah, it was a female. Unfortunately, was killed. You know, that's extremely sad. You know, not much I mean, you can do about it other than just, it's a tragic accident. I mean, awful. Engines running. The problem, you know, I say the problem, but the biggest hazard with this going on here, you know, this isn't the first one that's happened recently. There was one in New Orleans, you know, a couple months ago. But the turnover for ground crew personnel is extremely high. So you don't have the most experienced people all the time working down there. And, you know, maybe you've got an engine running for one reason or another, and they get not lazy, but just not accustomed to the continued dangers of the job, and tragic accidents like that happen. It's sad, very sad. Thank you, Callie Simmer, though, for the $5 super chat, my friend. You had a fatal in Salt Lake, Rixta. Oh man, that's even, you know, it's awful. It's a dangerous job. You got to have your head on a swivel down there. For all the ground service guys and gals, it's just you really got to have your head on a consistent swivel when you're working the ramp. And the turnover makes it hard. You know, the turnover, hiring people not staying on the job for very long, always have new people. The environment's always changing. It's just a recipe for disaster. Complacency kills, Mike P. You're absolutely right, man. All right, let's fire up engine 1, shall we? I never turned the beacon on, rip. It's all right. First stream of the year. Ignition mode to ignition start. VAL procedure. We're starting number 1 first. Here we go. Turn in 1. Let's roll. Wrong side says I got my Cat 3 design tiller the other day. Awesome. It was messed up. Uh-oh. So he's sending me another. Got the same side stick as you come as well, except FO side, of course. Wrong side. Phenomenal, man. You're going to love the side stick. I can't wait to see your impressions on that. And hopefully you get, I'm sure Cat 3 design will take care of you getting a new tiller, man. But awesome. Chris Stupper works the ramp. I mean, you know it all. I mean, you've seen it firsthand, I'm sure, man. And it's not, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of who was, you know, which company was working what, but a lot of ground personnel are contract. So, you know, they don't have the benefits and the pay of someone who is working a union ground job, and then, you know, that turnover is even higher. So it just, you know, it's the Swiss cheese model, right? Enough errors line up over time, and unfortunately people get hurt. It's very, very sad. Let's do a flap 3 from the cinematic view here. Flap 3, I haven't done one of those in a minute. Would you like an Airbus radio stack for your rig? Jeremy, yes, I would love an Airbus radio stack or a light panel. Those are the 2 most used switches, and they're one of the most annoying ones to click in the sim. Pac-Man, welcome to Commercial Pilot, man. Glad to have you on board. Welcome to the stream, dude. Douglas Phillips, welcome, man. Glad to see you. Welcome on board. All right, we got a flap 3. We're doing a single engine taxi, so we'll go yellow electric pump on. APU lead is off, and we are on Unicom, right 22-8, Phoenix traffic, American 2555, taxi into runway 8 via Charlie, Sky Harbor. Oh, that was a terrible way to call. First call to Phoenix, and we called to Sky Harbor. That's all right, though. That's all right. Everything looks good here. We are on. Everything is good. Single engine taxi. Let's go. Let's go to work. Here we go. Brakes released. Spool them up. Taxiing out. Love it. Oh, that's good. I don't know why that shadow is tripping out there. Get rolling, bring that number 1 engine back down a little bit. How heavy are we? Surely we're not that heavy. Only 137 pounds? It shouldn't take that much thrust. Well, I don't know. It is a CFM. They are pretty rinky-dinky. IE engines at 137,000 pounds, single engine taxi, you'd be totally... You wouldn't even need to hit 40% to get rolling. Velociraptor, what's going on, man? Welcome. Welcome to the stream, just in time. We're taxiing out. We do have to get an engine warm-up over here as well, so as soon as we hit Charlie, we'll spool up number 2. How's that? Pac-Man, love the channel. First time catching you live. I learned so much already. Cheers. Pac-Man, thank you so much, man, for the kind words. And I'm glad you found the channel and you enjoyed the content enough to become a member here. As a member, I should say this more, especially with all the gifted memberships that are given out on this channel. Make sure you check the community tab. That's where I post all my shorts videos and some of my members only content, as well as the Discord. If you do have Discord, there is a channel designated for both the private pilots and the commercial pilots. And of course, if you're a commercial pilot, you get access to both of those more private channels. But I try to be more active in those. You know, sometimes when I'm off on the road and I don't check Discord for 2 days, whatever, I come in and it's just like every single channel has messages in it, and I got pings all over the place. Like, if I only have limited time, I'll just get to the member channels first. But thank you for the support, man. Welcome on board. Also, those long elusive podcast chaos. I was thinking this the other day. I was like, man, every time I say we're gonna do one, we end up not doing it. I'm gonna have to make a meme. I'm gonna have to make like some type, or not meme, some type of emoji about the elusive podcast that doesn't exist. But I swear, we're going to do one. We're going to try to do one this week. I don't know what day, but we're going to try to do it. Because I also need to test Starlink. I want to test some more streaming capabilities on Starlink. So I can do podcast streaming from home. Because I'm not streaming the game and obviously over the internet as well for the live show. But I need to do more. So we'll do it live. It'll be a live podcast indeed. It'll be a live podcast just like we did last time. Whenever that happens, they are elusive. Are you walking Rex airport textures? I don't believe so. I downloaded this scenery, though, from the Flight Sim TO. It just fixes it a little bit. I don't think I have Rex airport textures. But let's go ahead and start engine 2, shall we? So to start engine 2, let's do a quick little lesson here. So listening back here, no PTU, beautiful sound, nice and quiet. Taxi, Airbus is amazing. Now, if you go ahead and turn off the electric pump, guess what happens? PTU is running because now we got to pressurize the other side, and we don't have any way to do it other than the PTU. So the PTU is running. We'll go ahead and turn on the APU bleed as well. Ignition switch to ignition start. And you've got to wait here for the bleed pressure to pick up, which is also realistic. So right about now. There we go. Boom. 30 PSI. Good start. Starting 2. Here we go. As soon as the start switch is no longer split, you'll hear that PTU start to fade out here as we build pressure in the yellow system. There it is. PTU is now silenced for engine 2 start. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that modeled. Absolutely love it. We're gonna slow our taxi down here because we have to get a warm-up time as well. And let me just double check my Pegasus, which is our VAMSIS for VAAL. Yes, our ACARS does have us off block. That is good. We're looking good here. And we're taxiing. Beautiful. I will talk some more about the VAL as well once we get airborne. Oh yeah, here we go. Start number 2. ST, thank you for the continued support, man. 5 months. He says, with you, timing finally worked out. Could stop by for a few minutes. Just want to say thank you for the streams. Looks like my first solo within 2 weeks. ST, hey, man. First and foremost, congrats on your first solo coming up. That's going to be really fun. Keep us posted on how that goes. I'm sure you're going to love it. Enjoy the moment, my friend, because you only solo the first time once. You know, you could fly a 40-year career, 30-year career, but you only solo the first time once. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the day. Best of luck to you, man. Thank you for the continued support. All right, we got a good start on number 2. I think I missed the avail light, so that's fine. So we'll go back here. That's set. Flaps are in 3. We'll go APU bleed off, master switch off, and we'll go ahead and start the chrono. And let's go ahead and do a flight control check. Here we go. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral. I think we're up 0.5, right? That is good, close enough. And for a rudder trim, let's go ahead and do the rudder check. Full left, full right. Still don't have a disconnect properly simulated, but that looks good. All right, everything else looks good there. We'll go auto brakes max, takeoff config check. Radar PWS is on. Auto TARA 2000 is set. Yeah, TA only. That is good. All right. Dave Pirelli. God, this livery looks amazing. Dave Pirelli, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. He says, hopefully you make it in time for some weather in San Fran. I did my own flight in the fly-by-wire half hour ago, and it was a nice rainy approach. Thanks for all your streams. Dave, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. We're going to try, my friend. I think, unfortunately, we might miss it just by a little bit. I think it's going to be clearing up, but it should still be pretty windy, so we'll see what we can do. Maybe tomorrow we'll chase some bad weather, too, if we go live again. But thank you so much for the support. Thank you, man. Velociraptor, with you, yoga and circle of thrust. Indeed, indeed, the circle of thrust. My dog popped his head when the APU barked. Always, I hear you, man. So short funny story, when we first got our Beagle, our first one, we took him to Phoenix from Dallas. And I was in uniform, I was non-revving, and my wife was with me. We weren't married at the time, it was my girlfriend, but we were going to non-rev to Phoenix on U.S. Airways on the first flight out of Dallas. It was like a 5:15 departure or something, like super early, right? So we got him, and we're paranoid about our dog, like not behaving or being in the carrier or whatnot, but he was doing a great job. Everything was fine. You know, we're pushing back from the gate, and he's being quiet. And if you know anything about Beagles, their howls are extremely, extremely loud. So sure enough, PTU goes off and start doing the number 2 engine start. And he heard that PTU going, and you would have thought there was a rabbit in front of him. I mean, he was just howling. Everybody was like waking up. Everyone was trying to sleep, you know. A flight attendant came over, and now I'm embarrassed because I'm in uniform, and I got a howling dog down here next to me. It was just super embarrassing. I thought they were going to kick us off the flight. But he eventually quieted down. We started shoving snacks in the bag or in the kennel. But I still have PTSD from that flight. I was so stressed. I was like, man, they're going to kick me off this airplane. I'm never going to be able to non-rev again. The chief pilot's going to call me. It was bad. It was bad. And then he started busting his way out of the kennel, like halfway. His nose was like chewed a hole in it, so his nose was sticking out. And I had to keep shoving his nose back in. It was just crazy. It was crazy. All right, here was Charlie. All checks are complete. I say we keep it rolling. We got 3 minutes on the warm-up time. That is good. Let's go ahead and go wing light on, strobe on. Those are coming on, and you going up there. Final is clear. Let's make a radio call. Sky Harbor traffic, American 22555, departing runway 8, Sky Harbor. Final appears clear. Keep it rolling like professionals. That runway slope looks a little interesting here. Stanley's on the no-fly list, indeed.
Real question. Why are pilots so crazy about boats? 9/10 times I jump seat, one of the pilots has to mention or show off their boat lol.
Yep, especially in Florida, wrong side. Especially those South Florida pilots, indeed, man. I don't know what it is, pilots and boats. I love my boat. I have a little bass boat, though. I have a fishing boat, so it's not like those cabin cruisers and stuff. But I hear you, man. Trust me, you're 100% correct. I do not know what the answer is, but especially in Florida, 98% of every pilot has a big old boat down there. Probably 2 or 3 alimony payments to go with it. Thank you for the $10 bank and go check, my friend. Thank you. All right, where are we at? We're 342 likes, or 342 viewers, and we have 154 likes. You guys must not love me. Let's go ahead and smash that like button. Spool them up 50 for Toga Takeoff. We're going to hear the engines ripping. Let's spool them up 50. Come on, Yoga's in chat. Can we get 200 likes prior to takeoff? If we get 200 prior to takeoff, you guys got about 10 seconds. We'll go Toga from outside view. Nose forward on the skid. Can we hit it? I don't think I've done Toga from outside view. Oh, love. Inside view it is. Toga. Man, I was looking forward to that. Man, Toga SRS runway auto thrust blue. Here we go. Almost had it. Too late. You guys were too slow. Mantoga SRS nav auto thrust blue. 100 knots. Checked. Man, that came up quick. We're super light. V1. Rotates. I'm seeing the chat. You guys are like, oh, it's rigged. Positive rate. A gear up. Hey, you got to smash that like button sooner. Fly with. Watch yours. Oh, yes, sir, indeed. Another big election. Oh, my God. Here we go. We're on the move. I said you had about 10 seconds. We were burning too much gas. Next time you'll be quicker. Next time you'll be quicker. Wow, the sim is looking good, though. Those clouds looking so real. All right, I'm going to go ahead and lower the nose here. I'm going to come back to MCT. So we're man MCT. I see the traffic in front of me there. Rip. There's our positive trend. We're going to out-climb him. Thrust, climb, climb, auto thrust. Wow. That looks awesome. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to cut inside him. Let's go direct USI. Insert. We're going to go direct USI, and let's go ahead and go flaps 1. Speed checks. Flaps 1. We're going to turn inside of him there so we don't get a TCAS. And we'll keep climbing. Matter of fact, we'll go to the next one. We'll go direct to Oakley. Highly illegal maneuver here, but got to do what you got to do. That view looks... I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've flown over Sky Harbor. Just, this looks so freaking good right now. Alberto D. showing off his V1 wings at 39 months. Alberto, thank you for the continued support. Happy New Year to you as well. Hope you had a good holiday season and a new year. Thank you for the support. And here's to another 39 months, my friend. Thank you. Rick says I want to recount. There we go. We turn inside of them. That's good. Well, there's S speed. So from S speed, we'll go ahead and go flaps 0 after takeoff checklist. Speed checks. Flap 0. This livery, was it Al that made these American liveries? I know I talked about it before. The paint that he used, or the color he used, is just so nice. We're going to continue hand flying here. A little bit of chop as we get ready to go over these mountains here. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Is that PIR? No, what's that one over there? That's not. Which raceway is that? There's some racing thing over there. Firebird? I think that's Firebird. I mean, I did so much flight training out here, instructing out here. Did the Sky Harbor transition in 172s coming right across the midfield. So cool. Commercial pilot says, Happy New Year, Captain. Or commercial pilot says, geez. Crow says, Happy New Year, Captain. Looking forward to another one full of aviation shenanigans. Crow, thank you so much for the 20 months as a commercial pilot. Appreciate you. Exactly. Here's another one. Here's to another year, my friend. That looks straight up real down there with the golf course. I mean, I don't think the sim has been updated since the last time I flew it, but these views are kind of blowing my mind right now. Like, that's straight up real life. And the sounds are wonderful. Oh, that's where Firebird used to be? Gotcha. All right, we're at 10,000 feet. We'll lower the nose. We'll get our lights off here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you know what? I got to check the SOP. I think VAL is different. You have to check the SOP. We'll do a forward call, let them know we're at a sterile. We're climbing on out. Alberto, thank you for the bank angle check. $10, my friend. Thank you so much. Bank angle check right back at you. Phoenix is your base for VAL. Douglas Phillips. Nice, man. Nice. Carmen, you just passed your IFR rating, or you just got your IFR rating? Congratulations, dude. That's really awesome. That is cool, man. That's probably one of the harder ones to get to. A lot of book study on that. Why do we have LDEV on this airplane? That's annoying. Let's change that. Oh, that looks good. No, 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 yes. Thank you. That gross little LDEV thing on there. All right, at 10, no more terrain. Let's go ahead and turn terrain mode off. We'll also come down here. We'll go secondary. We'll copy the active. And on VHF2, we'll monitor the operations frequency, 121.5. There we go. We're looking good. We're getting points on VAL now. Let's go back to full screen camera. That is good. We're accelerating to our cost index speed. And I'm going to throw you guys, we'll go ahead and turn autopilot 1 on. And I'll throw you guys on wing view for a minute while I set up my Pegasus informations here. All right, so here we go. This is the VAAL, kind of your virtual EFB, your OF, your electronic flight bag and / dispatch. The link, guys, if you are interested in VAL, is in the description. You can always find all the links for all the important stuff there. But these guys are absolutely love them. Awesome. I was really looking forward to doing this stream because we only did that one flight on the Leo, and I was like, I really want to take my career off here on the VAL. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of opportunity here for sure. So you could see it tracked all of our stuff here, our climb, pitch, where we would track at our flaps. So they're definitely tracking everything. There's our OFP. This is where I'm getting all my data from when we're on the ground, plugging the box. And I just don't have it on the screen because you don't need to be looking at it. But what's really cool is the live map of this, and these are only VAL airplanes. So this guy's coming in from EGLL to LAX. That is crazy. That's a, does it say what type of airplane he is? 777. That's cool, man. He must be on, maybe I want to see it on P3D. Doing a long haul to LAX. We're over here somewhere. That's us in blue. Someone coming out of DeFu right now. But it's pretty neat. You got a live weather radar who's here. San Francisco, according to this thing, looks like it's getting a little bit dicey. So hopefully that'll remain true. LA's got some weather in it too. I don't know if that's a good alternate. That's our alternate is Los Angeles. But we've got a ton of extra gas even if we need it. So love to see that. Keep tracking of all that. And then, of course, here's our booking. This was us, Phoenix to San Fran, our route, and everything else. We were scheduled out at 17:29. If we look at our ACARs, it looks like we pushed back at 36. We were about 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes late off block. So we're going to have to file some paperwork for that. But other than that, it's pretty cool. They're keeping track of us, and we're doing the best to fly the airplane within the requirements. There's 18,000 feet. We'll go ahead and set standards STDs for you, me, and the jump seater. 1, 2, 3 is set. Beautiful. Mike Peace is going to tell the story of the FO you didn't get along with. You said you guys wouldn't even talk to each other. Oh, yeah, that was the Phoenix turn out of Dallas. Mike P, indeed. I didn't tell that one yet. We'll have to do that on the all the elusive live podcast because that one might get a little dicey with some language. So we're going to have to save that one for the members only, Mike P. Thank you for the support. But yes, indeed, I did a Phoenix turn out of Dallas. And it was like a red-eye back. So it was a late-night flight, Dallas-Phoenix, and then red-eye Phoenix to Dallas. And I was about to go on leave for 3 months or so after that flight. And the only reason I didn't call out in Phoenix and just totally ground the operation because I was so pissed with the guy, I didn't know if my benefits for jump sitting would be valid the next day to get home. So I literally had no choice but to get back on the airplane and fly back. Yeah, we'll go over that one in depth at some time because I think that's a good story for, guys that are getting ready to come up through the ranks and stuff and how to deal with CRM. And, my entire career, he's the only guy I've ever flown with that I was like, no, I'm done. So we'll get to that one indeed. Can you do a video about diverting in the 320? Liam, you mean a video or a personal video? I did a personal experience when we diverted into El Paso But if you mean like a diversion, I'll see. I know I've done them on stream a couple times. Like real world diversion scenario and what you have to do and what you have to go through. I might have to look into making a video. Thing is, the videos take so much time to do, and I don't have a lot of it. As you can tell, I haven't streamed in 2 weeks, so I'm trying my best to make the best of my time when I get the time, and that, of course, is to get live content out to you. So who knows? A lot could be changing in the horizon here. Hurricane stream we diverted, exactly, Maze. Maze, good to see you, man. Hope you're well, dude. Happy New Year. But yeah, the hurricane stream we diverted a couple times. Fake podcast. Jeremy says, I was thinking the other day that you should take your family to Italy on vacation and reconnect with your roots. Jeremy, I know, man. I would love to talk to some extended family over the holidays in Italy. And, you know, I'm not fluent in Italian by any means. I get a couple of words here and there. But my mom, she was in town. And, I mean, they were having full-blown conversation. Got to wave and see them and all. It was pretty neat. They got to see the girls. So, but, yeah, Jeremy, it's on the, I wouldn't say bucket list. It's on the long list of things I need to do. Not to beat a dead horse here, but just to give you guys a quick rundown of what's on the plate here, what I'm dealing with. So I mentioned last month that we are expecting our third child. Super excited for that. He is expected to come in April, possibly moving. Actually, very, 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 very strong likelihood that we are going to be moving here very soon. There's some base alignment stuff happening. I got to change bases.
With V1 must be a jerk and an A, you know what? I mean, really? Though you are extremely generous, knowledgeable, and funny.
But there's a lot of logistical stuff that's happening. My wife's 6-7 months pregnant, or might be moving. Not across the country, but a nice little distance, and there's the whole aspect of leaving Texas, which is sad, but yeah, there's just a ton of stuff going on, man. So it's on the list. Callie Simmer, thank you for the $5 super chat. It says anyone who can't get along with the student be a jerk. And you know what? Yes, I mean, I appreciate that. I'm glad you see me as knowledgeable and funny. And I try to give you guys some knowledge here on the channel, and we do have fun. There are definitely streams that are much more geared towards learning and being legit and trying to give you guys as much like real world stuff as I can. Then there's other streams where we like to kick back and just kind of have a chat, open discussion, open forum about all things Microsoft, Airbus, whatever it may be. So I like to try to get a good mix and balance between those. But thank you so much, Callie Simmer. And I will say this though, that guy that I flew with, he is on the list for 90% of the people in base. So it wasn't just me that couldn't get along with them. When you got 90% of the people putting you on your no-fly list, I think you got to look at yourself at that point. So that's that. New crew base. It'd be a new crew base for me. So I was really going to talk about this on the All Elusive podcast, but I'd never wanted. I love Texas. I mean, Texas is home. You'll never be able to take the Texas out of the Texan, but might have to take the Texan out of Texas. So wherever we do go, which we have a contract on a really nice setup right now, I will be hanging a Texas flag. It'll be like one of the first things I do. Got to get a fence up, put a Texas flag out front. So, but we'll see. There's a lot to go on. There's a lot going on. We'll talk more in podcast form. Do you think JetBlue will close DFW? I guess you're referencing the Spirit JetBlue merger. I don't know, Zombler. I think there is a strong likelihood that there will only be one Texas base post-merger. The reason for that being, you look at the opportunities there, mid-continent. Houston has a lot of room for growth for JetBlue, whereas Dallas does not have hardly any room for growth at all, and everything is extremely priced out by American's monopoly on Dallas-Fort Worth. You look at the ties between American and JetBlue in the Northeast, and then you look at why would they want to compete in Dallas but have connections in Northeast. it's possible, but I think there really will only be one Texas-based future, but I could be totally wrong. I mean, maybe they will expand it. There's just not much room to grow in DFW, you know? So it'll be interesting for sure, though, to see what goes on. I personally think the Houston base is going to become quite large. I do think the Houston base for JetBlue, post-merger with Spirit, will become quite large. Spirit has a hangar there in Houston, a maintenance facility, which ironically, I found this out the other day, and I haven't been able to fact-check this, but someone told me on the hangar ceremony in Houston for Spirit Airlines when they announced the hangar months ago that they actually backed two airplanes into each other, like when they were moving airplanes around on tow to align them for the hangar, and they ripped the shark lid off or something. I don't know, maybe someone can verify that, but what a way to open a hangar, huh? Wow, look at this view right here, though. This is real life. Maybe move somewhere with better internet and stable power grid. Airline, you know, that's a great point, because where we're moving, we does not necessarily have that. But, you know, being able to rent an office, you guys see me here, I rent an office space for this channel. That was, when we built our current house, there was no internet out there. So literally improvise, adapt, and overcome, right? So we rented an office space, which is the V1 HQ now, which has worked out pretty darn good. I would be able to crank out much more content, though, if I had my PC at my home, like no doubt about it. So that's part of the plan. I don't know if that'll happen right away. Well, I'll save all that for a podcast, the All Elusive podcast. Austin can't handle more either right now. Yeah, for traffic. Is PMG annoying? Is PMDG annoying without the FB? Yes, it is, Sean. Does the Phoenix have different personalities? What do you mean, Chris? What do you mean different personalities? You mean like every time you fly it? I think that's more of a Microsoft. I think Microsoft has a different personality every time you fly it. Starlink should make you pretty off the gridable. Yeah, Chaos, that's the thing. So we are right now. I have Starlink at home, and it's fast. It's getting better, it seems like, with each month. So I kind of want to do another live stream podcast at the house to see what the internet's doing with Starlink. You know, the problem isn't the speed. The problem is the latency and frame drop. So, configs for the hardware. Yes, Sean. So, whoever asked that question, sorry. Yes, you can indeed go down here to your settings, and you can modify this and then save it as default, or you can default to what the airline uses compared to. I think the airline settings are based off the livery maker. So the livery maker can set these settings, and then you can default to them, or you can save your own. So for me personally, obviously feet HG and pounds. RA callouts, I actually should have that on. 2,500 is a callout. 1,000 feet's a callout. 500's a callout. 400, that's good. 50, 40, 30, 20. 10, I think 10's a callout. I don't even know. 5, if you're lucky enough, you'll get 5. Controls, but yeah, you can set all this stuff up here and then save it as a default. And it will save to that livery, which is kind of cool. But that looks good. Airframe, DDRMI, standby ISIS. So yeah, we're updated here with the ISIS standby instead of the analog gauge, which is kind of neat. But yeah, you can save those. Love those customization options, indeed. All right, 36 for 38. We're getting ready to level off here. Sim is looking fantastic, although the shadows are looking a little bit blah. Yeah, so AJ's got it right. The livery maker does set the airline settings for you. Cool. I'm jealous of the real estate market you're in. If you can have an office and a house, we don't have such luxury in the dense Northeast. And Arlen, it is, well, I live way out in the sticks, my friend, so it is definitely a little bit different out here. But, yeah, the real estate market is also wild. So, you know, buying a house right now is also, in my opinion, probably not the smartest thing to do. But it's not just a house that it's a pretty incredible opportunity that we have, and I'm extremely blessed to even be considering what we're considering. So it's a lot of stuff to think about. Chris Levin, thank you for the 26 months of support, man. Thank you for that. Commercial pilot, got the V1 bars up there, looking fine. Love it, man. At work the other day, I saw a radio frequency selector, but it looked like it was on the CRJ. I don't know if that's a good enough explanation, but it looked pretty nice. A radio, Maze, so I don't know if it's what you're kind of referring to, but the radio panel in FMS2H2 and whatever the other one is, I believe Airbus is actually getting rid of it. They're changing these out. And I think, I don't remember what it looked like. I'd have to pull it up on one of our Airbus magazines that I read, or like the Airbus Safety First app. And basically they were talking about how they're going to be changing this whole panel. And I think you'll be able to it'll be like a CRJ where you put in the frequency right there, like 25.5 or whatever it would be. And this is how it was done on the Embraer series. You would literally just type in like 124.7 and then you pop it in there, which it's pretty neat. Instead of spinning dials, to just plug it in, it's a little bit more efficient. So I think that is coming. That is part of the plan long term for the Airbus, is to actually switch out that radio panel a little bit. Holy crap, look at that headwind, 113 knots. And we're starting to get light chop. Of course, as we reach our cruising altitude, it starts to get a little bumpy. So we may have to go back down. What's our progress page say? Optimum 37, max 39.8. We're cruising at 38. We may have to drop it back down to 36. Let's put SFO in here just so we can track how far we are from the center point. 468 miles. We'll let the airplane stabilize here. We'll kind of monitor the chop by the wing view. We'll see if we start rocking around here. It's the same as the 350. It's called Dreams. Dreams. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's what it is. You guys know it. Exactly. Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet to see that eventually come. Just a little turbulence thing made me think of something. So yesterday, when did I fly that? Yesterday, 2 days ago? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Moderate, like not severe turbulence in a 321, but we got into some serious moderate turbulence. I mean, it was rough, and we were heavy 321. Came all the way down to 31. Just to give us some buffet margin. I think we started at 36. I think that was pretty close to our max, and we were getting rocked. It was way too tight a margin for me. So we dropped down to 34, or no, 35, whatever it was, because we're going eastbound, right? Odd. Eventually we settled at 31 just because it was so rough. And even at 31, it was extremely rough. And I thought about doing 29, but we did the fuel. That's where the fuel became a problem now. Looking at our fuel burn, even with the tailwind going to LaGuardia, going down to below 30 it was really going to make us tight. And the weather in LaGuardia was at absolute minimums. I mean, so this is, we talk about the Swiss cheese model of things happening. That was at the forefront of my mind, because heavy 321 going to LaGuardia, the weather's at minimums, we've got an alternate, we've got all this stuff, and then of course our cruise altitude is completely trashed by the turbulence. We keep lowering altitude, burning more gas, and then it's like, at what point do you just accept the ride and go for it? Because you're going to end up burning too much gas trying to find a smooth altitude. You're not going to get to LaGuardia anyway. So we just settled on 31, had the seatbelt sign on, and just rolled with it for a while. But we got our butts kicked for a better part of an hour. And I mean, by butts kicked, I couldn't even drink my coffee. Like, it was serious. It sounds so petty, but it was pretty good bumps. Jeremy says, remember the turbulence where your iPad came up and hit you in the face? Jeremy, I'll never forget that, man. Minneapolis, Dallas, Fort Worth, middle of the night, like 11 p.m., sitting there, and my iPad on the tray table, out of nowhere. I must have been awake. I still think it was we went over someone's wake, but totally calm, nothing going on, and boom, we just dropped. iPad came up off the said table, smacked me right in the forehead. That'll wake you up. That'll wake you up for sure. Never forget that one, Jeremy. I'm surprised you remember that, indeed. Roberto Soriano is in the house, Mr. Throttletek himself. Roberto, good to see you, man. Happy New Year. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Been extremely busy over here. Finally get to go back live today on the channel. He says he's working on the December batch. Sorry for the delay, working to catch up. So Roberto is a Throttletek himself. As you guys we were all enjoying the Throttletek cam earlier. We got the Dayglow red going on here for VAAL today, but Throttletek cam. Roberto's in the house. He's working on getting orders out. I think I saw a couple of people had posted earlier as well that they received their orders last month. I was seeing in the Discord, so that's cool. But thank you, Roberto, for your support, man. And anybody who is waiting on a Throttletek, it's coming. Is Roberto a one-man team? I don't know how many he has on his team, but it is definitely a small made to order business. You know, it's nothing commercialized like Thrustmaster or Wing, things like that. You know, Roberto is basically the man, makes it work, gets the order, puts it together. So 4-man team. There you go. There you go. 4-man team, and you can imagine the orders when things happen. So, was the iPad laying flat or popped up on the table with the case? It was, I think it was laying flat because I had my company material that I was reading on it, and I think I just had it sitting there. I think it was just sitting there flat. You know, I had like the company material open and had it flat on the tray. What day were you in LaGuardia? Had a crazy turbulence right on Tuesday. Seatbelt sign tight. It was Arlen. We were in LaGuardia. Let me just double check because I just flew it. I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday. Super heavy rain too, moving in and out of there. They were forecasting 40-mile-an-hour winds, but it didn't actually happen. It was more like 25 when we got in. Yeah, it was No, you know what? It was Tuesday. Scratch that. Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday, man. So you were there. Now you know exactly what I'm talking about. Tuesday is when we flew in. Heavy 321 into LaGuardia, down to minimums, getting your ass beat the whole time. A lot of fun. Throttletek should contact ASC for the DCS C-130J. Oh. Thomas Ray. Yeah, Roberto. That's something interesting. So a very long-awaited module in the DCS community is the C-130 that is coming. Basically a full-fidelity C-130. If you've already made the throttles before, maybe you already got the template or however you do it. I mean, that might be something to think about. Can you guys run the 320 on Expressway 3-1 approach? Yes, you can. It's not the Expressway visual anymore, Arlen. I think we do. It's It's RNAV. When we flew in on Tuesday, though, we landed on ILS 2-1, I believe. To basically the ILS, not the Expressway runway, the opposite direction. Are all your Commodore 320s the same spec? No. Ever flown a fancy one with foot warmers? Yes, and then the next flight it was completely removed. So, foot warmers are kind of like window washers. They're a unicorn. You rarely ever see them. And if you do see them, they don't last because as soon as they break, they just defer them. At least for us. I think other airlines that invest a little bit more into their airplanes probably have them, but not very common. All right, here's American Ops. We were 7 minutes late. We need to send a delay code as per OMB at free text if applicable. So let's go ahead and we'll actually do that. We'll go ADC delay message. And what are we going to blame it on? Let's actually pull up our delay codes. We'll go over here with something we don't really do a lot. But we'll go to the delay allocation card, operational delay. Delay op, stairs, tug, jetway. What are we going to blame it on? Engineering delays, system reset. That sounds about right. Ooh, simulator restart. ESM. Let's do that. Let's do the ESM delay code for simulator restart. ESM, and the time was, when did we block out? 1736. We'll put that there. MSFS space sucks at loading. LOADING. We'll go ahead and send that off. All right, delay code has been sent. I think it's going to be pretty stable here at 38. So we'll go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. We'll let them roam here a little bit. We'll go outside view in just a minute. Phantom 01. Have I ever flown a brand new Airbus that still smells new? Yes, indeed, Jeremy, I have. I flew one that literally came in from, I think it was a delivery? I think it actually was a mobile one from Mobile, Alabama. So it didn't even come from Europe. It had just done its certification check flight, basically, on the company acceptance flight, and we were the first revenue flight in the airplane. So, kind of neat. But yeah, new airplane smell, all the good stuff. Now, our ride is starting to deteriorate here. It felt better at 30, let's try 36. So this is something real cool. This is the new cruise altitude scenario. So in the Boeing, you got to do about 400 different things to change your cruise altitude. You got to change your cabin pressurization for your descent schedule, and you got to do altitude intervene, all that nonsense. In the Airbus, look how easy this is. So let's verify that our prog is at 38,000 feet here. You don't even need to change that. Let's just go ahead and type in 36, and I'm going to push it in for a descent, which is 1,000 feet per minute. And look, new cruise altitude 360. Your pressurization will resync. Everything is done for you. Absolutely amazing piece of technology. You don't have to sit there and fiddle with it. So we're going to drop down to 36. That's going to burn a little bit of gas. Let's see what our next message is here. It's probably just a receipt of the AOC bus equals 7 minutes. All right, well, you get the point. We're not going to deal with that. I mean, if you guys can't do math, I can't do math either, so we'll figure it out. But what we can do here, look at our flight plan. So 8.9 on the fuel. I think a little bit too late. If I did a nit here, secondary. I was trying to show you guys what I do in real life with fuel burn. So basically, secondary a nit. If I did, let's say, so I was doing this in real life. So right now, we're planning on 8.9. And to have the most accurate numbers, let's just recopy the active. So 8.9 is what the airplane is showing us with landing on fuel in San Francisco. Let's say our ride continues to deteriorate here. What we can do, and what I do in real life, is I'll come up here, I'll go back to the init page, and I'll say, what if we tried like, oh, hey, the rides are going to be rough until you get below 30. I'm like, oh, wow, 280. Let's see what 280 looks like. I can put 280 here in the cruise altitude. In the real airplane, I can. 280, which it won't let me, which sucks. So in the real airplane, you can modify that, and then it would update the fuel number of what you're actually going to be burning at 28,000. You get a rough estimate. This one, I don't think I can modify for some reason. Can I even modify like the temp? Let me just try something here. Negative 51. I can modify that. Why can't I modify flight level 280 negative 50? I'm just won't let me change the flight level. But basically, that's a quick way to check what am my burn going to be. And when I was flying on Tuesday, that's what I did. I was like, well, let's try 29, and the fuel was way too low. It was like 5,000, and in a 321, that's pretty low. Going into LaGuardia at minimums, having 5,000 on the gas. So we ended up just staying at 31 and letting it rip. This looks much better here at 36, though. I'm good with that. Shit, it was Swarm, good to see you, man. Good to see those wings in the chat. Welcome. Ooh, there's a nice turn over the mountains there. Boeing is better. Airbus brakes too much. No, man, no. Do only most senior captains do certain flights? Maxim, you know, most senior captains will do the flights that they want to do, right? So the more senior you get, you basically can pick and choose what flights you want to do. And that'll typically revolve around 2 or 3 things. Number one, if you're a commuter, they're going to just pick commutable trips because that's probably the most important. Now, if you're super senior, you'll probably pick commutable trips on days that you want to commute out there. So if you're super senior and you're a commuter, you probably do Tuesday to Thursday, or Tuesday to Friday, or maybe Monday to Thursday commute. That way you don't even commute over the weekends and you only work during the week. So basically you'll pick trips based on commutability and or overnights. So wherever the nicest overnights are in the system, they're probably going to the most senior guys, as long as there's no red eyes or anything attached to that trip. And then it basically just gets worse from there on, right? So senior guys typically get all the good juice, and then as your seniority dwindles, you start getting left over with, oh, that's a nice trip, but oh, look, it's got 2 red eyes in it, or that has a really nice overnight, but you got to do a red freaking transcon red eye, so oh, that's why that's in open time. Basically works that way. And then when you get down to the very bottom of the seniority list, you're basically just happy to get trips and not be on reserve. And then once you're on reserve, it doesn't matter what you want or what you don't want because the company's going to give it to you. So that's how that works. Seniority is everything, indeed. Let's take a look outside here. Let's turn the sounds down a little bit. Let's hop to outside view. Take a look at our juicy American livery. Oh, man, it looks so good. I love flying this out over the desert. Let's bring it down to like 1 on the volume. That looks good. Let's bring up some sounds. Whoa, not that one. Give me a second there. Here we go. Oh, that looks real. You should get certified to do factory acceptance flights. Yeah, most of the, so for, in general, you know, like acceptance flights, they're typically done with management pilots, so either base chief pilots or assistant chief pilots, typically reserved to do that. I got the FENIX a couple weeks ago, was floored by how amazing it is. Velociraptor, awesome. Yeah, it is amazing. Whoa, it's pretty loud. Is it not loud for you? Let me turn it down. There we go. Pilots get free in-flight Wi-Fi. Depends on the airline, Maze. Depends on the airline. What is a cascading bid? Jeremy, that is a technique on how to get what you want. Wow, we just had a major wind shift there. Everything looks good, though. Basically, how it works is you put your Christmas shopping list on the first line of your bid. So I want these days off. I only want to work no red eyes. I want to avoid New York, LaGuardia. I want to avoid San Francisco. I want to avoid Seattle, whatever it may be. And then the next line below that is, okay, I want all these trips, and I want to avoid New York and LaGuardia. Okay, then the next line is, all right, I just want to work these days. It doesn't matter where I land or where I overnight. So basically, your preferences get smaller and smaller. So it's an upside-down triangle. That's a cascading bid. You put everything you want, and the way it gets assigned to you, depending on how the software is, it will try to get you what you want, and if it can't, it'll go to the next item. And basically, you try to set yourself up that way. Roberto says, to be fair, acceptance flights are no fun. Did a couple on the 320 and E190. Ooh, really, Roberto? Interesting. Yeah, I've never done an aircraft acceptance flight, so I think, you know, I would imagine it's quite a busy flight. You know, you got a lot of stuff to do, you got a lot of checks you got to do, and I'm sure there's management pilots and inspectors or what have you, so I could imagine it's not just a simple get up and go flying. Look at this. How cool is this right here? Look at him conning up there at 36 or 38, wherever he is. What is that? Who's that? That is pretty sweet. That was cool. Are you running Reshed? Nope, I'm not. Not running any visual mods at all, none. Swarm says, when you went through ground school for Airbus, how many people were in your class and how long was ground? I think in my new hire class at my current airline, we had probably 50, I think it was an even number. So either 14 or 16 people. Somewhere around there. I think it has to be even, though, because you pair up. Everyone's in pairs, right? Because then you have a sim partner that gets assigned to you. How long was ground? It depends. I mean, in-dock is about a week long, and then for me it was skewed because I was actually a holiday class, so I was a November hire right before Thanksgiving. So we had a break for Thanksgiving, and then we had a break for Christmas. So mine was drawn out, but basically I started training in November, and I got released to the line. I think my Airbus type ride was on December 31st. It was like the last day of the year when I got my Airbus type. And then you go back to your base and you wait for online experience training. So 2 or 3 months, basically. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that, you know, once you get hired, looked at just about a 3-month window to get in and out of training. Roberto says, you do a lot of crap for the acceptance flight. The only time I flew a real direct law, got the rat out alpha floor test. Wow. I mean, fun, but, well, a big responsibility. No doubt, indeed. Yeah, you got to be doing all those checks. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Getting the rat out in flight, that had to be, I bet that's pretty, I mean, that's kind of cool to have that experience, right? To lean back on it. So if it ever happens in real life, like, oh, I've already seen it. I know what to expect and all that. But that's interesting, Roberto, indeed, man. Definitely a lot of responsibility with that. And wasn't there an acceptance flight with an Airbus that ended up being a fatal accident? Because of the way I remember something about that where they were doing some type of acceptance flight, and the order in which they were doing checks basically put the airplane in a weird scenario, and they ended up crashing that. When I do a cascading bid, what do you prioritize? Are there any airports you really want to avoid? Charles Lynn, honestly, it depends solely on you as a person and what you want to fly that month. So, like, an example for me, over the holidays, if I have a vacation week which is already pre-booked, then I'm gonna try to block days off along that week. So let's say I have a week of vacation over Christmas. Then I'm going to try to stack my days off before that week of vacation. So then I turn my 1 week of vacation into 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it may be. So I'll do, hey, I don't want to fly on all these days leading up to my vacation day. Doesn't matter where I go. But I want to avoid red eyes. And then if I can't do that, I want to avoid all these days flying. I don't even care if I have a red eye in there. And then, my last option will be, just give me any trips so I don't end up on reserve, essentially. You always want to have like a catch-all bid at the very bottom. That's kind of it's really a hard thing to explain, and honestly, you can get really in depth to it depending on your bidding software and how your company does it. This is all I'm referring to pref bid, or the preferential bidding system, which is fairly common now. Before PBS or preferential bidding happened, where we had cascading bids, you bid what was called a line, and essentially you were bidding for an entire month of flying, and that month of flying you flew with the same crew the entire month. And before 117, most of the time you even flew with the same flight attendants. But a month bidding or line bidding was, hey, you're bidding on an entire month of flying, and whoever got assigned that same bid, you flew with them that whole month, unless they dropped the trip or swapped out of a trip, whatever, parsed their own schedule together. But yeah, that's a pref bid. Gives you a little bit more flexibility. Line flying, depending on how it's rigged for your company, can be kind of fun too. It all depends. It was an acceptance flight in Toulouse on the brand new 320. There we go. Yeah. There was definitely a 320 that crashed. Totally hyped for the Chinook. Yeah, I saw that hype video too. The Chinook looks awesome. All right, how we doing distance-wise? ETP is coming up there in about 70 miles. That's looking good. What's our total distance to SFO? 350 miles. Do a little systems check here. Everything is looking good. Delta P is maxed out. Temps are good. Oh, yeah. FENIX is doing FENIX things. Sweet. Sweet. Let's go back outside. Man, look at this weather coming in here. I don't know where to park it. There's just the sim. I remember why it's so fun to fly the sim now. That looks cool right there. All right. Yeah, that Chinook in DCS. Between the Chinook and the C-130, I mean, that's going to be... Cannot wait for that, man. I'm checking someone. My phone is blowing up here. The C-130 has always been one of my favorites. Hey, Fred. Yeah, the C-130 is pretty sweet. Fly with quite a few C-130 guys too. A lot of retired military guys for the C-130. I actually just flew with one. My last, not on Tuesday, but my trip before that, I flew with probably one of my favorite guys to talk to about flying. This dude, he flew H-60s in the Army, and then he got out and he did contract for Blackwater and a couple other things, and he flew everything from Hueys to crazy old Sikorskis, and this guy had some stories, tell you what, and just really fun. I mean, we did a Cancun flight from Baltimore, and it was, I don't know, it was like a 7-8 hour day of flying, and it just went by so quick because I was just engrossed in all the stuff he was talking about. Really, really cool. Douglas Phillips with a $50 bomb. Thank you so much, Douglas Phillips, for that massive dono. Appreciate you. Massive super chat. If you've got the emojis, get some positive rates in chat. Positive rates in chat for Douglas Phillips. Love the streams and flying in VAAL. Hey, man. Douglas Phillips, I absolutely love it. I think it's a lot of fun. This is going to add this adds a lot of diversity to our virtual airline setup. So we've got V-Spirit, which is a ton of fun to fly that. And I can't wait to fly that more when we get our IEs. I'm probably going to put V-Spirit on pause here until we get some IE engines going. Because now we can fly the 320 with CFMs on VAAL. When we get the little Fokker from Just Flight, get some older airplanes, then we can get back into PVA. We've got the A300 for PVA. It's just... We got the perfect realm of opportunity for virtual airlines now. And I can't, the guys that put them all together, they're absolutely awesome. They've been supporting the channel for a long time. A lot of them are mods on the Discord, and it's just cool to see that they're doing their thing, and I get to just be a part of it, so it's pretty neat. Grabbed an amazing screenshot yesterday in the Phoenix, flying out of Buffalo at 340, still IMC with some mountain obscuration. You can see overcast layer down below me. That's pretty cool, Charles. That's pretty cool. I tell you what, on Tuesday, the overcast layer was high. I mean, pretty much from St. Louis to LaGuardia, we were in the clouds at above 30,000 feet. I mean, it was, and we were in the clouds all the way down. I think we had a couple layers in between there on our descent, but then we hit a layer at about, 19,000 feet going into LaGuardia, and we didn't break out till 200 feet above the ground. And when I say break out, I mean, I saw approach lights. It was one of those. It was approach lights, continue, and this is something we should kind of talk about real quick here. So there's a lot of and it doesn't really matter in the sim, so let me just preface what I'm telling you. In the sim, it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, what your call outs are, but in real life, call outs actually mean and can mean something very different than what you may be aware of. So in the U.S. here, when you're doing an ILS approach, let's just keep it simple with a standard Cat 1 ILS approach. Your minimums are 200.5 miles. So 200 feet is your minimum AGL and a half-mile visibility. The FAA says that if you reach your minimums and you do not have the runway environment in sight, you must go around, right? It also says that if you descend down and before minimums you see partial runway environment in sight. So whether you see the approach lights or basically just the approach lights, if you see approach lights, you can continue your approach down to 100 feet above touchdown zone. So for us specifically, and a lot of operators in North America, when you're on an ILS, the approach is either runway or approach lights. And if you hit minimums and you don't hear any of those, you're going around. So in LaGuardia the other day, it was approaching minimums from the Airbus, and then my FO goes, approach lights. And then the airplane said minimums. So I said, continue. So at that point, now we're going to continue the approach to 100 feet above touchdown zone, which I think in this case was 112 feet or 122, 112 feet, something like that. Sure, remember, I just did it 2 days ago. And then at about 150 feet above the ground, so we're below minimums. I don't have the runway environment in sight yet, but I started to see it right before 100 feet AGL. I did see the runway. I saw the touchdown zone lights, terminating bars on the approach light system. At that point, we can go ahead and continue the landing and land. So there's a difference between runway and continue. So if you hear the word runway, that means you're good to go. So if you're coming down the approach and at 500 feet, the FO calls runway, then in this case, I would say landing, because if I'm pilot flying. So at that point, landing, and you go all the way down. So when you hit minimums, you really don't say anything. But this is a very specific thing to operators all across the world. It could be different wherever you work. So I'm just giving you a general idea, though, that the calls that you make can actually make a difference and mean a difference in where you put the aircraft in a physical spot in space. I know some airlines even call out ground contact. We don't do that here. I think that's more popular in European countries, where I've seen, at least on the videos that I've seen, I hear them call out ground contact, which is something that we don't do. But again, this is operator to operator. I saw some pilots are upset with the airline for changing some callouts for certain things, but not providing training, just some kind of manual with a note about not worrying about it too much. Russ D, yes, indeed. Everyone's pissed off about it. American is going through a massive change right now. They actually have a quick reference card, or a quick, I don't know, basically a change card. So all the changes, they're just telling them to change it. It's for fleet harmonization. The fleet harmonization change card. I don't know. You know, you wouldn't be flying for an airline if they didn't just change everything you did for no reason at all. So that's just part of it. You just roll with the punches, man. Anthony, what's up, man? He says, Captain, my son's first step toward becoming a pilot has finally come through. He got his first class medical. We were worried since he has detached retina that he has healed. It's a good day. Anthony Teal, well, that is awesome news, man. Glad to hear it. Best of luck to your son as he begins his flight training. That's going to be a very fun adventure for him. That's awesome. Awesome to hear that he got past the medical as well. So good deal, man. All right, how are we looking? We are at the ETP, the estimated time to P. Getting ready to go over Palmdale VOR, 302 miles out. Let's park us out here on a little wing view here. Ooh, a little bit of wing juice. That is real right there. American didn't used to call out Airbus FMA changes like you guys do. Yeah, so it's, and the thing is too, you know, depending on the airline you work for, if you have a vast fleet of different airplanes, it can be challenging to get everybody on the same page or close to the same page. I think that's just kind of the part of what they're going through right now. But I was always taught to announce FMA changes, even back in the Embraer days, and especially in the 170. I mean, the 170 especially. The 170, the Airbus, you will live and die by your FMA. And you can apply this to any single airplane you fly that has an FMA or any type of flight mode enunciator. Even the 146, I don't even know what it's called. I don't think it's called an FMA, but it has all the modes up there, right? You can see what mode you're in, whether you're in sync, whether your sync button is on, whether you're in TO mode, altitude hold, vertical speed, IAS. If you understand where that quote-unquote FMA is in any airplane you fly, that is the number one way to having a successful flight and keeping the airplane in positive control. Because if you start to get out of phase or get out of sync with the airplane, like, what are we doing? Find your FMA and look at it, because that will tell you exactly what the airplane is trying to do. Whether it's, maybe you're like, why are we speeding up here in this descent? Are you in a vertical speed mode instead of an open descent? Or are you in a vertical speed mode instead of an FPA mode, which would change the speed on thrust or speed on elevator for the Embraer series? So you will literally, quite literally, live and die by your FMA. And the Airbus, that's especially true. Holga Twitch says the Airbus golden rule, always understand the FMA. Indeed. Always understand the FMA. Absolutely. Well, says, I can't believe they don't change new training for new callouts. If I change the brand of coffee at work, we need to hold a meeting to provide new brewing directions. Oh, man. What's your take on the fuel shortages at San Diego and MCO? Also, what's your take on the ATC in Florida? How would you handle the situation? Citizen HD, man, those questions are above my pay grade, honestly. We just have to do our best with what we're given. I know for my operator specifically, we were tankering a ton of gas, which really helped alleviate, especially in Orlando, helped alleviate the airport fuel requirements. So what we do, and I mean, this doesn't come from my decision as a pilot. This is something more along wrong side simulations, who was in the chat earlier. Dispatch coordinators and stuff, they look at those problems and they got to, okay, what are our solutions to this? We can't just not fly into these airports. How are we going to get guys in and out of there and complete the mission? I'm like, well, let's go ahead and start tankering gas. You know, how much gas can we take in there with our current projected loads? Are we going to be above max landing weight? How much fuel can we actually take? What's our projected passenger load and cargo load? All those numbers, they start crunching numbers like, okay, we can go in there and take an extra 15,000 pounds of gas, which is good enough for the flight right back out up to Atlanta or whatever it may be. So that's what a lot of our dispatchers did in our operation, and I think it was the same for multiple airlines. As far as the ATC situation, that I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That would be a great question for a Phantom 320 as a real-world controller. I feel like, and it might just be me, I'm gonna skip that song, but I feel like I've never seen so much ATC disruption as I have in the last year. And I know a lot had to do with COVID. I mean, I've seen multiple ATC 0 events where they have to evacuate the tower because someone got COVID or whatever it may be. I've also seen bomb threats go ATC 0. ATC 0 means there's no ATC coverage. So you're landing in Las Vegas as a Unicom, like, hey, we're reporting left downwind for 26 left. I mean, it's literally back to your original private pilot days of flying. And we can do it. We've done it. I've done it. I remember one instance in Chicago one year. We were flying into Chicago, and they went the center went ATC 0 because of a fire in the basement or something, and it was a disgruntled employee who actually maybe it was a center or a Tracon, I can't remember, but a disgruntled employee actually set fire to the facility, and they went ATC 0. That was pretty wild. I remember, not me personally, but for 9/11 2001, my buddy said he got cleared to land 300 miles out because he said, hey, there's a bomb threat, we're evacuating, you're clear to land, good luck. And that was it. They got off the radio. So I don't know what the deal is with ATC, and especially in Florida lately with weather moving in and out. Maybe it has something to do with the uptick in passenger travel. I mean, we're just more and more flights every single day. You know, more and more planes are flying. The airspace is getting more and more congested. At some point, there's got to be a cap, right? At some point. We'll see. Will I fly the Aerosoft 330 when it comes out? No. I shouldn't say that so quick, Stirrup. I'm going to wait for reviews for the Aerosoft 330. I'm not saying Aerosoft is bad by any means, but they tend to make light simulation airplanes, and I might pick it up just for fun, but it's not something I have on my radar that's like, oh, I can't wait for this to drop. But I'll definitely wait for some reviews and see what the deal is. Jeremy says, I was always taught to look at the FMA instead of the lit buttons on the panel. Yes, and the reason for that, Jeremy, and the same could be said for the overhead. Like, don't look at the switch because the switches go bad, right? Lights go bad. For the Airbus specifically, take engine anti-ice, for example. Engine anti-ice, is it off or on? Your eyes shouldn't go to the overhead. It should go to your upper ECAM, and it will say engine anti-ice on or off. Because what if you look up there and the switches are out, right? You think, oh, they're off, but they may not be. So switches go bad. That's why you should look at your displays. How many hours before you soloed? I'm at 17. Oh, Brandon, I don't remember, man. I think it was around there. 10 to... I honestly don't remember. I have no idea. I'd have to look at my old logbooks. I think it was right around there, mid-teen somewhere. How was your experiences while flying during the holidays? Douglas Phillips, you know what? It was quite pleasant, to be honest with you. There was one day where it was a little rough. We had a really long delay with snow and ice and de-icing and weather issues. I mean, but other than that, I had a relatively pleasant experience, and I've said it before on the channel. You know, I actually really enjoy flying around the holiday season because it's just a fun vibe. You know, everyone's happy. Why are we still at 300 miles? I feel like that's not right. Is that right? Oh yeah, 299. You know, everyone's pretty happy, generally speaking, around the holiday season. Kids around, and you start seeing all the Santa and reindeer stuff in the ATIS and Santa spottings. You know, I mean, it's neat. I enjoy it. I had a relatively pleasant experience this holiday season, minus one day, which was pretty wild, which we'll talk about on the All Elusive podcast, but I can't give them all out. We're going to try. Is there a football game tonight? Here's the deal. I know I'm going to say it and then it just won't happen, and you guys will just roast me, as well deserved. Let's see. Today, is there a game tonight? There's no game tonight, right? So, either maybe possibly tonight or tomorrow we will do the All Elusive podcast. We'll talk about some of that stuff. But Bluebird just announced the 7.6 to go along with the 7.5. Tony Johns, that is one I am keeping close tabs on. I love the 7.5. I think it's a pretty sweet airplane. I wish I had the opportunity to fly one. I never did. I mean, I guess I can go fly cargo and fly one, but I'm keeping my eyes on that one, just because I'd be really curious to see how it goes. I really enjoyed the Quality Wing 757 series for FSX. I know it's dating me a little bit, but you hardcore simmers out there probably remember it. Quality Wing simulations. I think they had the 7.5. Then what they have? They had the Avro series as well, and then I was really waiting for their classic 737, which never came to fruition, unfortunately. Promises. Well, the reason I'm saying I'm even more motivated to try it now because I want to see Starlink's capability to hold the live. The last podcast we did it live as well, and it actually worked just fine, but I wasn't streaming anything in the background. So this time I might try to have some type of video or something playing while my kids are screaming, running around, the dogs are barking. I mean, it's just going to be wild, but we'll pour some bourbon and we'll hang out. Eventually, now this is a pipe dream. This isn't in the plans, but this is a pipe dream of mine. I would love to eventually one day have an actual setup where I will do a live podcast for my members, whether it maybe even just be commercial pilots where I have like a live cam to myself, like a personal one-on-one, not one-on-one, but like me on just the members with a nice setup, a desk, and like a professional setup, right? That's a pipe dream podcast setup, but who knows? Maybe in the future. We'll see. New E-Jet dev outlook looks... Lord, welcome to the stream. I've heard some little things in the pipeline about that 170. I don't know what to look. The visuals look great. I'm hoping for a good flight model, and I'm hoping for a good sound set and a good FMS. I mean, I'm hoping for a good airplane, obviously, right? But I've heard some murmurs in the pipeline, not to get my hopes up too much, but hopefully it's just rumor. I don't know, though. I don't have any concrete evidence. Real fake streamer, yeah. Max, what's up? V1, glad you're back. Are you looking forward to the Flightbox 380? Yes, indeed, Max, I am. So I didn't know 380s were still a thing. And in one of the shorts videos I posted a while back, I saw a 380 in Miami. And then in Dallas the other day, I saw British Airways 380 here. I'm like, since when are they flying 380s again? But yeah, I think it'll be cool. I'm going to fly that thing from like Dallas to San Diego and try to land it in San Diego. But, I'm not going to take it 15, 16, 17 hours. But I think it'd be fun. Dave 1, rip to you, my friend. Well, I typed on the E-Jets. Yes, I was. I was typed on the E-Jets. I flew the 190s, and I also flew the 170s, 175s. I mean, the type rating is 190, 170, but you can fly 195, you can fly 175. SN8 at Burbank in a 380. Chaos, yeah, it's funny to see the resurgence, for sure. I don't know what... I guess I was just living under a rock. I didn't know there was stuff. I saw one. Actually, I heard it on ATC. I was like, you're following a Super. I'm like, what? That's still a thing? And sure enough, 380. Thinking about a communications career after retirement? No, not necessarily, Randy, but I have thought, I would like to do a legit podcast, maybe even if it was separate from the channel, about certain things, maybe more real aviation, because there are some good aviation podcasts out there that I listen to, but I just love the live interaction. I think that's a big part of streaming too with you guys. I enjoy making creative videos and getting music to sync up and making stuff look really cool, but I almost enjoy the live interaction more when we get to have live discussions. And then like my favorite part, honestly, is when we start talking about something and then one of you brings up a good question or brings up something in my mind that may or may not even be related, and then we can go down another rabbit hole, and then we start going down all these different rabbit holes, having good discussion, and before you know it, we've been streaming for 3 hours, and it's just, I think that's pretty neat. It's kind of a unique experience for myself to be a part of, and plus I love teaching too, so anytime I can share information with you guys, I do enjoy that. But can we take a minute to smash the like button and look at these freaking clouds? Are you kidding me? Are these real clouds? Did they update the clouds? I mean, my sim didn't update, but that just looks amazing right now. We already have more likes than viewers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for smashing that like button. Appreciate you. Full-time streamer after retirement. There you go. I'm not that old yet. Come on now. Jeez. After the pandemic, it was easier to reactivate them with the pilot shortage. Yeah, I guess so, man. I guess so. Speaking of the future, you kids ever want to take piano lessons when they're older? Seriously, let me know. I can teach remotely. Jeremy Harvey, very, very kind of you. Indeed, man. I would love to get my kids to play an instrument at some point. Still a little bit young right now, but absolutely, Jeremy, for sure. Right now we have their grandfather, so my father-in-law, bought them it's like this big rollout mat that's a keyboard, but it's like a full size. You walk on it and they dance on it and play notes. It's kind of cool. It's actually really funny when the dogs go on a tangent. They run across the hall or something and they step on it. The first time they did that, Holly, the little one, she literally jumped up and did like a 360 because it scared her. It's pretty funny. Working FMS is currently in the middle of the E-Jet Dev Outlook. Very cool. Very cool, Laura. The 380s are coming back because of the big resurgence in travel after the portions of the pandemic. Lufthansa's bringing some back. Cool. That's awesome, man. Pitch from one way on the E-Jet. Yeah, Arlen. So they found that. You're talking about, there was one recently, not recently, but there was one that I have pretty interesting knowledge about. The one out of Atlanta, the Brickyard, the Embraer Republic Airways took out of Atlanta. That was a whole snowball of events that kind of eye-opening of what happened when that airplane had that issue. It actually wasn't a pitch trim runaway, according to the NTSB, but basically had to do with the improper maintenance deferral and a switch that was working when it shouldn't have been working, and that could have been a really nasty accident. Fubar says your system definitely looks awesome. I have a GPU envy every stream. Fubar, well, don't be too envious as soon as it hits summertime here. This thing cooks. I tell you what, man. Man, I remember when I first put in the GPU. I think it was right around the time the 7.3 was dropping from PMDG, and I was doing those streams. We had no air conditioning at the V1 HQ. I was literally squirting myself with a Mister bottle because it was 95, 98 degrees in my room while streaming. Wicked. No reshade at all. This is all default, man. V1, any decent Tampa scenery? No, not yet. I think Flight Tampa's doing some, I think. And then, is it Vertical Sim? Is he doing Tampa? Is Vertical Sim doing Tampa? Because I will definitely be looking forward to that. But Tony, as far as Microsoft and a good Tampa scenery, I don't think it's out yet. I think it's going to be in the pipeline. There was an E-Jet in Brazil where the ailerons were wired backward for maintenance. Yeah, Jeremy, and yeah, I remember we talked about that not too long ago. Exactly. Would I fly the 321 XLR? Absolutely, Jay Moore. Middle of this month for Tampa from Vertical Sim. There you go. That's the one you want to be looking for, Tony, is a Vertical Sim Fly Tampa, Vertical Sim Tampa is what you want to be looking for. I love his airports. Vertical Sim does a phenomenal job, so I'll be really looking forward to that. Tampa to Phoenix Monday, hoping for that voice over the intercom. Flight Sim guy, good deal, man, good deal. All right, we're going to probably look here. We're going to start planning our descent. 235 miles out. Yes, indeed we do. Let's actually pull up the star. Let's go back here, and let's get an updated weather scenario. Right now, 4 statute miles, light rain. That's nothing. Few. Blah, blah, blah. Winds 230 at 10. Ooh, a little bit of a crosswind. Should we stick with our 19s? So if we stick with 19, is that where we're landing? Where are we landing? Yeah, 19 or left. And winds are 230. We'll stick with it instead of landing 28s. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to do a crosswind? I mean, there's no ATC on, so we can do whatever we want. The world is our oyster. We can do RNAV, or we can, with the crosswind, or we can do an ILS, which, what is it actually at? Let's do it 1400, so we should be fine. Let me go to the Navigraph. AJ Funari, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. Says, this may be a security no answer. Uh-oh. What are the legalities with a commercial pilot and firearms, be it carry or in your bag, excluding company policy? AJ, that is indeed a security no answer question, unfortunately. But there are pilots that do carry weapons. So there are flight decks across the U.S. that are armed, for sure. But that's really all I can say. Thank you for your support, though. Appreciate you, man. SFO's on 2.8s on the ATIS. All right, let's see. Ground charts 10-9. 2-8 is so lame. We always land 2-8. Circle the land. Opposite day in the bay is in a few weeks. Can guarantee a 1-9 landing that day. There you go. Land on the taxiway, Harrison Ford. I think we do it. I think we do the crosswind RNAV just for the heck of it, right? And then if ATC comes on, we'll load it up in the secondary. So we're gonna do this. First things first. Let's look at the arrival. We're on the Surfer 4. Let's pull up that. We'll pin the Surfer 4. That takes you out to Eddie at 6,240. When's our TOD? Are we still good? Yeah, we still got some time. Get ready to go over Avenal. All right, basically from this arrival, we can do whatever we want. It sets us up nicely. So for approaches, oh no. Approaches, we're gonna do our primary RNAV, GPS, 19er left. We have a GLS. Ooh. And we're going to take it off of, what do we have it going to? Eddie to Berks is what we have in the box. Berks is out there. That's an intermediate. That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a disco in there. So we'll put a disco before Berks. We're going to use T, which I didn't really want to do. Then we'll clear T out. So Eddie Berks, insert. We've got the RNAV 19er left. I have 2 discos? No, there we go. Eddie, disco, Berks for the 19er left. And then we're going to go secondary flight plan. We're going to come over here. We're going to do arrival, ILS 28 right, no star, and approach via in the secondary in case ATC does hop on and we need to switch it. We'll do the ILS or low 28 right. We'll star that as well. And we'll take it from Eddie as well. Secondary. All right, so our secondary is set up there for that. That looks good. And then we're going to do secondary perf. We'll arrow it right. And let's put in the minimums and stuff so we have everything we need. So the secondary min's 213. That goes in the barrow. And then we'll come over here and get the actual ATIS information. Try landing 1 with the heavy crosswind. Eesh. I'll tell you what, we landed, it was like 35 knot direct crosswind the other day. Pretty good. All right, 4 miles, light rain, mist, blah, blah, blah. 29er, 85, and 12. 29er, 85. 12 is temp, and the wind was 230 at 10. Those are 250-hour winds right there. 230 at 10, and then we'll put that in the main perf as well because we're going to set up for this one. So 230 is that's 10, 12 degrees, and the RNAV mins. So let's go get our RNAV mins. I've checked a firearm as a passenger many times. Not a big deal. Oh, yeah, as a passenger, you can check firearms all the time. For sure. I was wondering where we got the New York Jets delivery for the Phoenix. I got it off the Flight Sim TO. Flight Sim TO, my friend. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, the RNAV 213. So the ILS 28 right, and then the RNAV. That's 213. So 213 for all of them? Oh no, for the RNAV. LNAV, VNAV, DA of 350. 350 is set. What was the 29er 85? Set. Boom. All right, that looks good. At Surfer, looks like we're going to start down. We'll pull out the star. Surfer 4 RNAV arrival. The bottom altitude is 6,000 at Eddie. And we don't have to start down until we get a little bit closer. We'll verify those restrictions are in the box. We'll go flight plan. We'll go plan mode. Constraints are on. And let's step through here. There's all of our restrictions. Looking good all the way down to Eddie. And then we're just going to self-vector ourselves for the RNAV. We don't need the LS push buttons on because we're doing the RNAV approach today. So no LS required. Manual brakes, full reverse, flaps full. That is that. All right, we're back to cruising. And that's straight out of a commercial for American Airlines right there. I don't know what happened in the chat, but I just looked over and I see Steven talking about an emotional support hand grenade. Okay, this escalated quickly. Do you think ex-military pilots have a higher advantage of getting accepted in top airlines? Have you ever thought of becoming a Navy pilot, being in your career? Lemon Wolf, you know, resume definitely, that definitely speaks to the resume. Almost every single application for any airline in the U.S. at some point will ask you, are you now or were you ever in the military as far as aviation is concerned? Here's my brutally honest answer. Up until about 3 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, having military background was a huge advantage. With the way hiring is now, it's basically think of it like floodgates that like have open for hiring for everybody, for the legacy carriers, for low cost carriers, for ultra low, for every airline. The floodgates are wide open for hiring right now. So while yes, you can't, it's not going to hurt you ever to have more experience on your resume, but is it as valuable now as far as getting hired? I wouldn't say so, but it definitely, up until about a year, 2 years ago, oh yeah, for sure. There were some airlines that wouldn't even look at you, American being one of them. Unless you were a military or a flow-through from one of their wholly owns, you were not going to American Airlines. So absolutely, it holds its weight. And even if you have it now, of course, it's still going to help you. But with the amount of hiring that's happening right now, it's pretty crazy. It's nothing like I've seen. I mean, the amount of hiring that's going on right now is pretty wild. And also, do you ever wish I was in the Navy? My dad was Navy. He wasn't a pilot, but my aspirations as a young kid were actually I wanted to fly medevac helicopters. That was kind of what I wanted to do, and then just the way my career panned out, I was very fortunate, very blessed the way I got the opportunities when I got them, and just kind of rolled with my career that way, and it stayed civilian the whole time. So. No streamer that is an airline pilot will ever disclose who they work for. It's part of their contracts. Past 5 years, really, it's been about how many hours you got and how good were they? Yeah. How many? Yeah. Do you have enough time? And do you have anything on your record that would be holding you back? Pretty much. What do you think about airlines sponsoring flight streamers? Do you think that's something that could happen? No, I really don't. Honestly. As much as we like to think that we have some pool like, oh yeah, look, we got, look at all the viewers and stuff. They don't care at all. And then you've of course got the aspect of what happens if something goes wrong. I don't foresee it happening. Maybe with some small airline somewhere, but I don't. I mean, they have bigger fish to fry. They really don't care what someone is doing on a home computer. Steven, I agree with you, man. I don't know what's going on with the clouds, but they are maximum juiced out today for sure. Slam Cannon, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you, Slam. Hope you're well, dude. Yeah, indeed. Small niche group. Yeah, we may have there may be big streamers within our niche community. Flight Deck to Sim, Captain Canada, Jeff Heviano when he does post videos, flight sim videos. Those are all very large streamers that have very large followings. But when you consider the amount of revenue and money and people that travel, it's like doesn't even scratch the surface. So. I could see insert generic Brazilian or Indonesian LCC here sponsoring. And Lauren, I'm speaking, I don't disagree with you there. I'm speaking with, the majority of U.S. carriers. Not to say that, some smaller operator outside of the U.S., maybe, yeah, sure. You know, all it takes is for one CEO to be a flight simmer. You know, you get one CEO of one airline somewhere in the world that's a diehard flight simmer. Maybe he does look into something like that. But how are you going to – I don't understand. I don't see how flight simming would benefit an airline from a financial standpoint. Like, for what, publicity? I mean, that money would be well vested somewhere else, like whether it be a commercial or like one single commercial during a football game or a soccer game or whatever it may be. It's going to reach millions more eyeballs than a single streamer for an entire year career of streaming. So I just don't see it happen. XP72 in chat. And I should know, speaking of large followings, they see the XP72 conga line going across the United States. They may then consider sponsoring XP72. What is up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year, XP. XP says, you mean to tell me that they're not going to hire me with all the streaming I've done? Unfortunately, XP, I don't see it in the near future. But I tell you what, buddy, if I ever ran an airline, you'd be the first marketing guy I would hire. We would just have to, we'd have to. I don't know if we'd be able to do it live. I've witnessed you, do a couple nosedives into the beaches of Hawaii in a 737, or I've seen a couple run off the runways. That's not necessarily the best publicity, but nah, man, it's all tongue in cheek. I hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. XP does have quite the following on VATSIM when he fight. No, dude, Fubar, you're not lying, man. It's like you literally, if I'm planning a stream, I got to check. Okay, that's one of the first things I check. Okay, XP72, what's his schedule? Is he flying? Can I avoid flying in that same window? And number two, if I am going to fly while he's flying, I best make sure I'm not going anywhere near that he's flying, because it'll be about 400 airplanes in line. So, yeah, the XP conga line is real. It is. I mean, it is a phenomenon that is fantastic. And I've actually flown a few conga lines. When I had my sim at home, I used to fly on some interconga line in incognito. Do quite enjoy it. And that's a thing. If you guys are looking to fly with some traffic, you want to buff up your radio skills, hey, just check out XP72 and look at his stream schedule. Just fly the same route he's flying, or fly the opposite route, and you will be talking to ATC the entire way. You'll have more traffic than real life times 3, and it'll be quite the experience. It's a lot of fun. So XP72 Airlines, we get you close enough. Just started equipping XP's planes with tail hooks to damp down on the runoffs. Yeah, there was one. I'll never forget the one time I was flying incognito conga line. He was doing a Hawaii stream, and I'm pretty sure he was in a 7.3, and he was in front of me, and I wasn't streaming with him. I was just flying along, having fun, watching his stream, and there was something with his throttle stopped working on final. So here I am. I'm a visual approach to the runway. I've got XP in front of me in sight. It just worked out that I was directly behind him, and all of a sudden I just see his airplane just go nose over, stall, it goes straight into the water. That was it. And then I was like, and then we of course all laugh and whatever. I land and I parked my airplane. I was sitting there watching the traffic come in, and out of nowhere, XP then drives his 737 through the forests of Honolulu or wherever we were, and out comes the 737 driving through the grass, coming across airport property, and then goes parks at the gate. I mean, I was laughing. That was probably one of my I was laughing hard on that one, man. That was hilarious. Good times indeed. All right, we're approaching top of descent. Let's go ahead and 6,000. The Zebo reversers on final. I know, man. All right, 6,000 is set. We're about 5 prior. We'll push for managed descent. We're minus 49, so we're right on the verge of that minus 50 for engine anti-ice. We'll get it on here right now. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign. We'll bump up the sim sounds a little bit, and we'll get ready to fade out the music here as we start on down. The off-road skills, indeed. Captain Gio in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, Gio. Hope you're well, brother. Hope everything is good. Hope you had a good holiday season. All right. Here we go. We're getting back in the zone now. That's done. Clouds are looking maximum juice. Bringing up the sim sounds. It might have been Kona, Lauren. You're right. Might have been Kona. Are we doing another leg? Not today, Noah Miller. Not today, my friend. Are we going to overspeed, though? Because I feel like we are riding that line. Yes, we are. Bueller. A little bit of speed brake here. Let's go ahead and bring that back to 7.8 selected. A little bit of speed brake here. Got to slow us down. There we go. We'll just hold it selected. We're supposed to be 280 at an early there anyway. Speaking of winds, did I not? I already entered destination data. Oh, yeah. Could put them in manually, but we're fine. Alright, we're on the path right here. We got a nice 54 knot crosswind, which is, that's alright. We're supposed to be 280 at an early in the transition. So we'll go speed Mach 280. We'll select that. I'm actually gonna start slowing down early just because I think we're gonna start getting some chop here. So I'm gonna crack the speed brakes a little bit in preparation for this descent. Don't really like coming down at 7.9, 340 knots because you get one gust of wind, as true in real life as it is in the sim here. It'll send you into that overspeed barber pole and fun times ensue. So I'm going to slow us down a little bit here, get us ready to transition at 280 knots. If we can even do it. Ooh, we need to get the replay ready as well. So let's get flight recorder out. There is the old flight recorder client. Shaq Oatmeal in the house. Shaq, what's going on, man? Hope you're well, dude. Hope you had a good holiday season. I hope that the Eagles can pull one out Sunday against the Giants, man. I'd like to see the Eagles. Well, you know what? I don't like the Giants, but it's actually better for the Cowboys if you lose, so I take that back. Hopefully the Giants can pull one out on Sunday for you, because the Cowboys still have a shot. If you lose and we win, now we're talking. All right. We're back 280 knots. We're in the transition. We're at or above 20. We're looking good there. We're coming down. And yeah, that looks good. Flight recorder replay is good to go. Oh man, we should have went to San Jose. They got ground on. Sheesh. It'll be either way, Shaq. I think it's going to be a very fun postseason, man. I think it's going to be an exciting postseason, no doubt about it. Looking good, looking good. We can get an updated METAR here. We'll go McDo, Atsu, AOC, weather. Let's get an updated SFO this way. Oh, METAR, yes. Send it. Boom, we'll let that come back. We don't really need the ice right now. We'll go ahead and turn it back off. Eagles dropped the ball big time, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't used to it. Postseason will be a blast, NFC and AFC. Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait for Super Wildcard Weekend. That'll also be pretty fun. All right, we're at or below 19, above 15 at 280. We're in selected speed already. Let's check our VAMSIS. Looks like there's someone else going to San Francisco behind us. Our ACAR shows us descending. We're looking good. When was our scheduled arrival? Our booking scheduled arrival time was 1928. So our booking showed 1928. Yeah, we're still going to be, we might be a little bit late off that too, unfortunately. We tried. We tried. These views are just stunning right now as we get ready to go into the overcast layer. I always get really stressed when talking to ATC on VATSIM and sometimes ask them to repeat it. Does it happen in real life, or does ATC become something very usual? Don't even sweat it, man. Yeah, like Slam Cannon says, the more you talk to ATC, the more comfortable you're going to get. And once you get comfortable, a big part of it is being comfortable with your own airplane and your own airplane's abilities, right? So if you're fully confident in your ability to fly the airplane into a controlled airspace, talking to ATC, the more you do it, you'll just get more and more comfortable. I remember the first time I ever had to cue the radio up, I was 12 years old on an intro flight, and I was like, the instructor, she was telling me, like, all right, so we're going to call and say you're at the av fuel sign, and whatever, and I was like, huh? I was so scared to press that button for the first time, man. But once you press it, you get used to it, more and more comfortable. It'll be second nature. Then people won't get you to shut up on the radio. All right, we're still looking good on the path here. We're holding 280. Theoretically, if I remanage this, we should be at 280. There we go. So we're remanaged at 280. Airplane's doing a good job. We're actually right where we should be, so we're not at the bottom of the speed scale like we have been in the past. Right in the middle of the vertical profile. Once we hit Eddie at 6,240, we're going to be self-vectoring for the RNAV. Wow, this just looks, I mean, going to XP GoPro view here. Holy real life. That looks good, man. Shaq says, just had a Neo and CEO IE next to each other. Either the Neo engines are huge or the IEs are really small. No, the Neo engines are huge, Shaq. They definitely are, man. I can stand up in a Pratt. In a Pratt 320, I can stand up in it. I'm 6'1", so they are big. They are big motors. Just imagine if now you need to have a Neo and a CFM next to each other, be even smaller. VATSIM really helped me make more comfortable when I was going through PPL. Indeed, VATSIM is 100% a tool. You can use it as a tool. We use it for fun here, for realism and things like that. But VATSIM 100% can be a tool to help you get even better with your real-world ATC and proficiency. And to step it up, you can even go into Pilot Edge if you wanted to go down that ballpark as well. So while we have fun and enjoy our simulators from a home-based experience, they very much can be used as tools. And I even use mine as a tool. I tell you guys all the time, when I get ready to go in for recurrent training in the sim, we do our sim prep check ride on the sim. We start failing engines. We start doing alternate law flying. We do all different types of approaches. And while it may not be 100% realistic to how the airplane's going to behave, it's close enough, and it gets you in the right mindset, and it gets you prepared to see certain ECAMs, prepared to see certain FMA enunciations. It gets you in that mindset to go in and execute at a high level. So it's definitely is a tool here. Just make sure you say C is as loud and drawn out as possible. Oh, yeah. Patrick, indeed, man. And I even remember as an instructor, students that I had that were flight simmers, 100% I could tell from day one they were flight simmers, 100%. And I, in fact, would encourage them to use flight sim. All right, we're getting ready to go through 10,000 feet. Let's go wing light on. Chinese speed brakes are out. We're going selected speed 250, which we're about to blow through that. So speed brakes out. And let's go ahead and activate and confirm the approach phase. We're activated and confirmed. We can even slow down at 240 knots here as we get ready for our first constraint, 240. And we'll go ahead and get the Throttletek camera on so you can see that with our VAAL American Red lighting today, which I don't know, I totally just made that up, but that sounds cool. And what's our outside air temp is +2. We're kind of in and out of this haze layer. Let's go ahead and get the engine anti-ice on as well. We're on profile. Let's run a quick landing performance. I know we're going to be fine, but let's cover our bases here. Explain in chat. Oh, yes. All right, SFO runway, 19er left. Let's do 5 for the RCAM, because that's a wet arc. That's just what it was in LaGuardia. It was RCAM 5. We'll refresh the METAR. Landing weight, we'll take the 129. 129.0. Insert that. Low, idle, that's all fine. Flap full. Now, plenty of room. Factored is 73.57. Sweet. Let's go ahead and get terrain mode on since we don't have radar. We'll put terrain mode up to help us out. Oh my Lanta, look at that. A little bit of chop coming through here. You like Pratt's or Leaps better? I know I'm not many operators of these Leaps. Pratt's. Bigger is better, my friend. Bigger is better. Pratt's look cooler, sound cooler, and, you know, I'm not saying that from a performance standpoint because I've had my fair share of Pratt & Whitney Neo motor problems. I remember when those engines first came out, I would not take off without, I wouldn't even have the departure procedure up. I would have the engine high vibe procedure up front and ready to go for takeoff. That's how unreliable they were when they first released. But they've come a long way. Do you plan to stream X-Plane 12 anytime soon? Not really, Ivan. You know, not until I see something that's going to draw me back to it. Maybe the next check ride prep stream will be an X-Plane, because I do like using the flight model, the airflow arrows and stuff. You can really see some cool stuff. But, yeah, X-Plane. Just not my cup of tea right now, that's all. Yeah, we're definitely in icing conditions now. +7, we got some rain on the airplane. All right, American 2555, depart Eddie heading 360. Depart Eddie 360, American 2555. So 360 is set, or 000. Here comes the rain. I'll start right at 6,000 feet. There's Eddie. We'll go ahead and select heading. Speed out heading. And an auto sequence to Berks. Check right corner. Berks is there. 338, 29 miles. That looks good. We're going to cross Berks at or above 5,000 feet. So we'll just maintain 6 for now, and then we'll drop it down here. I use X-Plane 12 for my A321. Ooh, there you go. So that is the thing. I do miss the 321 and the 319. I may dabble over there. I may dabble over there in X-Plane 12. I need some Orbix compatibility. Once I get that, I'll be in it much more. I don't have any ortho done, and I'm not going to make any ortho for X-Plane 12. I will fly in Orbix sceneries in X-Plane 12, and I'll be fine with it. But I'm not going to go waste hours of my life creating orthos for an area that I may fly over one time. So I will definitely fly over Orbix and any other sceneries, but the default is default. As you can see, you can't see. Cordy Deuces, the livery is on the flightsim.to. Go to flightsim.to and just type in New York Jets, and you'll see the livery. All right, we'll go ahead and set 5. Thrust idle, open descent. I guess we should just make some radio calls. San Francisco traffic, American 2555. At a 6, descending 5,000. We're setting up for the RNAV 19 left, San Francisco. Is the 321 CFMs underpowered? 321 in general is underpowered, my friend, but definitely with CFMs. You keep trying to get this spot right here. A little bit of COVID left over from 2020. You don't want to get too close to that. We're speed out. American 2555, fly heading 345. Heading 345, American 2555. Oh, we need to go full cowboy? Yeah, we're not talking to anybody on ATC, so we'll save that. Gosh, what were we doing? Oh, we were doing the members only after party stream. That's what it was, and that American checked on frequency. This is going to be a spicy approach. I like it. Maybe, hopefully, maybe we won't even see anything, and then we can go mist and come back around for our secondary. So right now, just double checking our secondary. What I'm going to do, since we're already past all those waypoints, I have time right now, so we'll clear up those, and we'll leave it right there at Sidby for the secondary ILS. And we could probably even get rid of Sidby, to be honest with you. Could probably just load it from the final, from Aximal. There we go. We'll keep it at Seepin. So if we do have to go miss, we come back around, we can do the ILS. But our secondary is cycled and ready to go, and it looks like we got traffic on the north side of Berks there. Now we're starting to see some traffic. American 2555, fly heading 340. 340. Yeah, the circle of thrust from our members. That was funny. No second legs because you got to prep for the podcast. That, and I want to go fishing, man. It's a nice day. Gotta go fishing while I still can. And I'm hungry. I miss the FS Labs 319 Pocket Rocket. I do too, Crimson Ghost. I miss my 319 so much. Really, really want to fly a 319 again. I mean, we are in the thick of it today. Shoot. We are in the thick of it. Alright, we're at 240. Once we get a little bit closer. I'm not sure where these guys are going. I was going to cut us directly to Snake. But because of these guys might very well be on the approach, we'll just take it out and join behind them. San Francisco traffic, American 2555. We're about 10 miles from Berks. We're going to be joining over at Berks for the RNAV 19 left, San Francisco. In and out of the rain. Love it. Make it 335 on the heading. Keep inching over. We got a nice little wind pushing us to the right, so could actually probably do about 330. Could put it down early and just go fishing in the San Francisco Bay. Could. Fishing will solve the hunger issue. Yeah, well, so maybe I'll stop by Chick-fil-A on the way home and then go fishing. We'll see. There have been more Bigfoot sightings than podcast sightings. Oh, Mike, you guys are killing me. What did I see? I was in, where was I? I want to say I was in Seattle. No, I think it was Portland. And I was walking by the store there in the airport, one of those little, I don't know, not the NBC stores, just one of the little local shops. And there was this t-shirt hanging up on display, and it just had the Bigfoot, like, logo, the Bigfoot logo if there is one. It said, "We believe." Oh my goodness. Not going noodling, man. That's not for me. It's pretty crazy though. All those Oklahoma rednecks love their noodling, man. That's a term of endearment too, Oklahoma redneck. All right, let's go direct Berks. San Francisco traffic, American 2555, turning direct Berks. Berks at 5,000 for the RNAV 19 left, San Francisco. All right, let's go ahead and start dialing it back. We have quite some time. Let's look at the chart again. Engines in and out are pretty spicy here. Alright, Berks to Shake is 7 miles, so we got plenty of time. We're going to hold 220 on the speed. Yeah, we still got, I don't want to be going too slow here. We'll hold 220 for now. I know it's kind of a off speed, but We'll go ahead and arm the approach at this point. So we got app nav final is blue. Remember, on the RNAV approach, we do not arm both autopilots. We just arm autopilot 1 for this. So app nav final blue. We're at 5,000 feet. It should automatically go into final lap here over Berks. Yeah, that 7.3 jump seat, man, my back still hurts. My back still hurts from that 7.3 jump seat the other day. All right, final lap. Go down, go down, go down. Where are you going? San Francisco traffic, American 2555, Berks inbound, RNAV, 1 on her left. All right, let's go ahead and dial it back to 180. 180 on the speed. Well, final lap, no ATC, so we'll just go ahead and clear ourselves to land. There we go. There's VFE next minus 10 for laps 1. Gonna help it out with a little speed brake here. Let's go ahead and help her out as we're coming down. Zombler, oh, you were on that second jump seat? Oof. That second one on the 737 is even worse. Not many operators have them. I wonder if you were on Southwest. All right, we're speed braking her down. There's VFE next, minus 10. Let's go flaps 2. There we go. Now we're looking good. We're 2,000 or we're 180 knots. A little bit high on the VNAV. She's struggling. We got nice gusty winds in there. As a matter of fact, we might bump our VAP up a couple knots. Let's go 135 on the VAP. A little extra juice there coming in. And let's go ahead and start the recording. Recording is on. Looking good. All right. We're back on profile now. There's 2500. Radio altimeter is alive. That's a 5G call out. If it doesn't call out 2500 feet, we're supposed to enunciate it. Lemon Wolf, yes, they do. But remember, that's not a Throttletek limitation. That's a sim. That's a sim that has to be programmed in the sim. So, because even in the real airplane, you could bring it past half, but the spoilers won't extend past half in the real airplane. So the same is true with the Phoenix. All right, there is 2,180 gears coming down. Go ahead and arm the speed brakes. VFE next, minus 10, flaps 3. And we'll just go ahead and configure her all the way up. VFE next, minus 10, flaps full, landing checklist. I kind of want to be in the cockpit for the breakout. Let's be in the cockpit for the breakout. Landing checklist, cabin crew advised auto thrust speed. Auto brakes are off. ECAM memo, a landing all green. Landing checklist is complete here. We are looking good. I'm going to keep her RNAVing down for a minute. Get my screen zoomed in. I'm going to preemptively, before I forget, I'm going to turn off the FO's flight director. .9, we're on path, 1250 above the ground, we're looking good. Minimums are 350 feet. Approach lights That's not actually, so that's not a call on a non-precision approach, so keep on trucking. 1,000 feet, stable, clear to land. San Francisco traffic, American 2555, short final, 100 left, San Fran. We're getting kicked around. We are getting kicked around. Can see that reel flashing, but technically that's not the runway, so we're not going to call it yet. Runway in sight. Landing. Autopilot's coming off. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Bird is on. Right on speed. Looking good. Looking good.
500.
Ground speed mini is working hard. Jeez, it is rough.
100 above. 400. Minimum.
Well, we wanted the crosswind. We got it. 30 knots. On a wet runway.
200.
That's a little bit spicy. Whoa,
100.
Correcting. Lost it all right there.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Jeez.
Retard.
Whoa, look at that balloon. Oh my. Go around.
20. Retard.
We could have saved it there. Let's go around. Go around flaps. Flaps 3. Positive rate. Gear up. Toga SRS, go around track. San Francisco traffic, American 2555 on the go with 19 left. Nav. Lever climb. Here we go. Coming back. There's our positive trend. There it is. Thrust climb. Open climb nav. Flaps 1. Speed checks. Flaps 1. We'll take it up to 5,000. 5,000 is blue. Help myself out here. We'll do autopilot 1. Flap 0 after takeoff checklist. Speed checks flap 0 after takeoff checklist. We'll bug 250. After takeoff checklist is complete. All right. So we're going to save that replay as a go around. KSFO go around. Save that one. Yeah, that just got a little too spicy. We lost a lot of performance there. You saw me get low over the numbers. And then right on the other side of that, boom, we got hit right in that flare. We got hit with a nice gust and up we went. So we weren't going to continue that one all the way down. We probably could have saved that there, but we're not in the business of saving. We're not in the business of saving landings here at VAL. We're in the business of executing proper landing techniques. So we're going to go ahead and go around. We'll set up for the ILS in the secondary. So to do that, we're going to continue out here in the hold. It looks like 19 left. And what we can do is we can actually just fly a heading instead of going into the hold. So we're going to fly a heading. So American 2555, fly heading 080. Expect vectors for the ILS, whatever it was that we said, 28 right. ILS 28 right is set. American 2555, vector back across the final, fly heading 120. 120, American 2555. All right, so look at that. As easy as that. We're good to go. We've got our final in there. Let's go into our perf. We're going to activate the approach and confirm. 213 for the ILS 28 right is in the box. We're at 5,000. 213 is set there. Let's get our LS push buttons on. We'll get LS push buttons on. IGWQ 111.7 is set. So they got to take us, we got to kind of balloon ourselves back around. Let's make it 140 on the heading now. And so what happened here, this is where it actually, this is a real thing too. Look at our check right corner. We're now SFO 028 right. We flew so close to our final approach fix that it actually dropped it out. So at this point, now we need to reload the approach. Even though we successfully didn't have to reload the approach because we had our secondary, the way that this one worked out, we got so close that it sequenced on us. So not a big deal. We're just going to come here. We're just going to reload the procedure. So we'll go ILS 28 right. I'll click off of it, and then I'll insert that, and then I'll just go flight plan, arrival, ILS 28 right, no star, approach via. Let's take it out to Eddie, which is the full procedure. We're not going to go all the way out there. That's back in the box, and we can continue to come back to the right. Let's make it 160 so we don't sequence again, because we're flying right along that final, which it's going to sequence after SIDB, but that's fine. Then we can turn to the final approach fix. Let's descend and maintain 4,000. I missed about 15 switches and 3 checklists like a real Boeing pilot. I know, that's Airbus makes it very, very easy to go around. So we went around, we're on downwind, we got our perf, we lost our perf there, it dropped out because we had to reload it, so we'll put our 213 back in there, that's fine. 213 is back in, and we're getting below, so we're looking good. Just divert to 28, or just white 28 right. Bill, because the crosswind on the wet runway, it was a little bit too spicy, and they're actually landing 28 in real life right now, so bonus, get to see 2 approaches. We could 100% come back around on the RNF 28 right, it would have been fine, but this you get to see a little bit more. You get to see a runway change in the middle of a go around, so more workload for me, more entertainment for you. Let's go ahead and come all the way back to 180 here. We'll reconfigure. I was on 19 left, but we're switching to 28s now, because they're actually landing 28 in real life. That looks like close terrain there, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and turn around. Via FENIX -10, flaps 1. Just a rainy day in Oakland and San Fran. Are you not entertained? Says Jeff. Indeed, man. Look at the bumps, man. This is crazy. We'll go ahead and go flaps 2. '19s gave us the heebie-jeebies, exactly. How are we looking on fuel? We got 9.2, plenty of gas. Plenty of gas, we're looking good. We're going vector across the final, which sometimes happens. Let's see if I can actually get myself on it. I don't know. We'll go approach. Oh, we may get it here. I don't know. That'll be close. Cat 3 dual up, 1+2, glide slope blue, load blue. No, I think we're already past it. That's fine. American 2555, when able, proceed direct to SIDB for the ILS 28 right. Direct to SIDB, ILS 28 right, American 2555. So glide slope blue, load blue. Nav is now armed because we're going to nav to SIDB and we'll pick up the ILS there. Let's just make sure we have proper freaks here. IGWQ 111.7, ILS 28 right, 111.7, IGWQ 284. All looks right. What I don't like is why this... Oh no, that looks good. We are right, of course. Cool. Direct to SIDB, we're looking good. Then we'll join it over C-pin. Beautiful. And we'll be able to watch both replays. Flight recorder, no GNR, so I saved it. The good thing about flight recorder is I saved that last replay, I've stopped it, and now we'll do this we'll have 2 replays to watch. We'll have the go around and this one. So here we go. Thank y'all for sticking around. This is known as the Bourbon Air Special, indeed. DFG, it does the same. So with peaks mode, it would tell us where it is, but we don't have peaks mode installed. So most Airbuses in real life have peaks mode. I should say most, but at least in the US. Charlie Romeo, Happy New Year. Late to the party today with you. Charlie Romeo, hey man, welcome to the stream. You're not too late. We just did a go around off of 19, so now we're set up for the ILS 28 right. Still going to have a little bit of a crosswind, but longer runway, wet runway, and in fact, because of the crosswind and the wet runway conditions, we're going to use auto brakes low. I normally don't use auto brakes a lot on this channel, and I don't use auto brakes a ton in real life. There are two scenarios where I use auto brakes religiously. Strong crosswinds, because you're going to have better heating of the brakes symmetrically with auto brakes and a strong crosswind, and also during heavy rain or anytime there's pooling on the runway, auto brakes is going to help reduce and mitigate, theoretically, the possibility for hydroplaning. So we're going to use auto brakes on this particular scenario because we have both of those things happening. We've got rain, wet runways, and crosswinds, but 28 is a much longer runway. I think it's what's the length on 28 now? We're 11,000 feet versus 8,500. I mean, 8,500 was fine. Our factored landing distance is only about 7,500 feet. So this one will be all right. We'll make a nice left turn off and park over there at the terminal. Getting ready to intercept the low. Here we go. Oh wow, you can even see the beacon haze. That's cool. All right. Heels on the floor or on the pedals? Heels on the floor most of the time, yeah. You know, you'll put your feet on the pedal all the way up. And now I'll probably disengage the auto brakes shortly after touchdown, but most of the time. Why are we high on the slope? To help it out with a little speed brake. We were at 4. Oh, I think we're supposed to be at 3. We're a little bit high there. That's all right. We're coming down. Adis says, approaches the foobar. Yeah, we were a tad high there, Andre. Didn't see that. The C-pin was at 3, not 4, but it still caught it. Airbus Smart Capture mode. We're looking good. Low glide slope star. Go around altitude is for 28. The go around altitude is 3,000. So go around altitude is set. 3,000 blue. All right. San Francisco traffic, American 2555. We're on final now for ILS 28 right, just outside of Axmal, San Francisco traffic.
2,500.
I'm gonna slow traffic on 19. How far out are you? He's not talking to anybody. Why can't I hear him? Oh my, I know why. I apologize, my VATSIM volume was down. Traffic that's landing 19, or how far out are you?
The 1997, I'm around about 7.5 miles out.
Okay, copy that. We'll hustle it all the way to the marker. We should beat you in. We're only 5 miles out. It's going to be tight, so we're going to take it 180 all the way in. There's the marker. Let's go manage speed now. Gear down. Don't try this at home, folks. Recording is on. We'll consider stable at 500 on this one. Spoilers are on. VFE next minus 10 flaps 3. VFE next minus 10. Stand by. 180 to the bridge. I can't see the bridge though. We're at 3 miles. We're looking good though. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin crew advised auto thrust is speed. Auto brakes are low. ECAM memo. Landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. Recording is on. Godspeed, friends. Here we go. It's going to be tight. I've done this in Philly, believe it or not, with back in the days when they had dash trash landing on that crossing runway all the time. I mean, you would literally land. You were on 200 feet, and the guy's touching down and going across in front of you. Pretty wild. This is, there we go. Approach lights continue. Because we're on a precision approach now, so that's the call.
500.
So we're good all the way down to 100 feet above touchdown, which would be 113 feet.
400.
There's the terminating bars. In-sight landing.
Departing 30 straight out.
He's departing Oakland. There we go. We're on final. He's still about 4
above.
miles out. Man, as soon as I disconnected, we just got a huge gust of wind.
200. Minimum.
We're not auto land. That's that glide slope running away. Correct.
100.
Oh, it's because the flight directors are still on, maybe?
Light slope.
40. 30. 20. Retard.
Okay, there. Whoa. Are you serious?
30. 20. Retard.
Rip. Manual brakes. $70 knots. Why do we have vertical speed on there? Where's the crossing traffic? We should be able to catch him on the rollout. We'll take this next left. I don't know why that ballooned so hard. That was a little interesting. That was interesting. Let's go ahead and roll it over here. I'm looking for him, though. Did he already land? There he comes. There he comes. Oh, that wasn't close at all. We'll stop here between the two runways. See how he does. That was interesting balloon. I mean, that's twice it just went whoom, right up in the ground. And now in real life, for sure, go around again. But I don't know what was up with that. And I'm kind of puzzled as to why we got vertical speed 500 on there. Because we should, no problem, be able to have the flight directors on an ILS like that. San Francisco traffic, American 2555. We're going to cross 28 left over the ramp. Last call, San Fran. CFD computer F dynamics. I know. There's all that one was interesting. That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, we were 30 knots of wind, but it wouldn't be that hard. We'll take a look at it. It's not like we bounced. Take a look at it. They can't all be winners. We'll analyze the replay, though. All right, we're clear. Let's go ahead and do that. We got to clean it up, though, for our VAAL point. So let's go ahead and get all of those off. That goes into taxi. That comes off. We're going to leave the engine anti-ice on. Because it is, it's plus 12. Don't really need it. We'll go ahead and kill it. We're going to start the APU, though, because we're going to have to shut down. Now, these are all unknighted gates, but because we went around, we'll just go ahead and keep going. We'll do the replay, because I don't want to taxi back to American gates. Come on. Juice it. Hope you didn't bounce, otherwise you'll awaken the wrath of Piedmonter. No, we didn't bounce. We didn't hit the ground. It was weird. As I went into flare, there was like a quick thrust up. I don't know if it has something to do with the engine model. And then the airplane just took off into the sky. Like, whee!
That was quite the landing. As famously said in Apollo 13, you, my friend, are a steely-eyed missile man. Lol.
Callie Simmer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Indeed, man. Steely-eyed missile man. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, it wasn't too pretty, but it wasn't too pretty. Wasn't too pretty. We'll go ahead and park over here at Alaska because we're parking at the Alaska gates because American pilots are protesting because they don't have Alaska rates, and Alaska's got all the new rates, so we're gonna go ahead and park here at Fox 21, which I know isn't where we would park, but I don't want to tax that way back because we got 2 replays to watch. I'd rather watch the replays. I'll take it into the gate here. APU is up and running. We're gonna hit that jet bridge. We 100% are gonna hit that jet bridge. So we'll stop short because I don't want to hit that jet bridge. Brakes are set. APU is available. Engine 2 can come down. Seatbelt sign can come down. Engine 1. Spooling it down. Jay says, we will allow you to park there. Pirate comment. Hi, Pete Monitor. Hey, it's me. It's me again. Spooling her down. And what we got? Head go 5%. Beacon can come off. What's our company message? That's just probably our block in. We'll go Atsu. AOC received. Arrival. Cool, at 2001. So that's done. Let me check my actual Pegasus here. ACARS. Flight complete. Ooh, boy. You guys want to know what our landing rate was? According to what I'm going to get graded on at VAAL. Take a look at this bad boy. 511. Hey. Sorry about that one. Much love. V1. Can't all be winners, my friends. Can't all be winners. We just keep the door shut and I'll blame it on the FO. Alright, flight is complete. No bonus points indeed. Let's fire up the replay mode. 500. We'll dismiss the boarding. I don't know. I haven't flown the sim in over 2 weeks. Maybe I just suck. We'll find out here in a minute in the replay. Let me put us a quick start on the engines. We'll go ready, activate. And brakes off. Let's get our lights on. Here we go. Let's watch the land. Should we watch the landing one? Yeah, we'll watch the landing one first. Alright, so here we are. We're coming into land. Extending flaps. Oh boy, we didn't disconnect. Steven, let me know how you do, my friend. Let me know how you do. We'll go replay mode. 500 feet over safety limit? Yeah. 5 years from now, your next Proctec exam, they'll find your seat. Oh my god. Oh, you're killing me, dude. For what it's worth, I've been ballooning quite a bit in the FENIX as well. Maybe it's something with the sudden weather changes in Microsoft. I don't know what the balloon is all about. We're going to find out here on this replay, though. Let's take a look at it. Everything's looking good on the approach. Our flaps are full. There's the approach lights. I heard the engine spool up. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but we'll take a look at the outside view. I don't think I had any excessive pitch rate or anything like that. There we are, coming out of the soup. We're looking good. Now the wind doesn't replay on the ND here, so let's watch the outside view. Hey, Ron, what's up, man? That was a maximum of 475. That's how I feel. In my defense, flying a plane is hard, File Pirate. I mean, look at this. We're battling 30-knot winds out of the left here. So we lost a lot of energy again coming over the numbers. Pretty stable. All right, here we go. So I'm coming down. The power's at idle. Yeah, I don't know about that. Ooh. What? Okay. What? What? What did we just witness here? What did we just witness here? I gotta see this again. I mean, the landing for sure was hard, but how does it bounce when we're already below VLS? So, we're coming in. Quick little spool right there. But it's like, I mean, there's our speed decaying. That's the replay. Hold on. Hold on. Let me pause. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back.
Too low. Terrain.
Let's watch the speed tape here. I mean, look how close we're at a VLS. I mean, that airplane would not... I mean, we had a touchdown at 120. Let's see here. We're witnessing a real standard AA landing. Oh, Roberto's savage, man. Yeah, pretty savage.
40, 30, 20.
I mean, I guess I did. It was a little bit hot. I mean, but we're still climbing. Look at the speed.
30, 20.
And now that's pretty realistic. That smack down there. That's why you don't. That's why you don't save a bad landing, because what happens is once you start getting below VAP, you are going to run out of authority to slow down your descent rate. 100%. I have actually witnessed a landing exactly like this from the right seat, and it sucked. Wasn't me landing, but I've witnessed this exact thing. So I don't know what the float is, right? I don't know. I don't believe that giant float. But this I 100% believe. Look at our speed. Yeah, that's a smash. Now that I don't believe. We're at frickin'... I don't believe the bounce. Maybe I don't believe the bounce. Let's look at the bounce from the outside again. So I don't believe the float. I mean, I know we floated, but 100% learning scenario for you right here, right now. This is why you never save a high float or a high bounce, because when that speed decays, it doesn't matter if you pitch back a little bit or you go full aft. This airplane is coming down. It doesn't have any more authority to slow that, arrest that descent rate. So 100%, this is a very good simulation of what not to do. All right. And now we smash down, but like, see, we're on the ground for like over 2 seconds, and then we just bounce up over the top. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we might have bounced at the 500 foot per minute impact like that, but it just seemed funky. Ooh, yeah. Like, look. I don't know if that's all. The second touchdown looked pretty decent. We're off center line. We'll do our speed brakes, but that was pretty ugly. That one, that's my welcome back to 2023. So we'll watch the go around here. But I just don't know like why we're climbing inside of VLS at idle thrust. This, I believe the 550. It's almost like it didn't load the impact until it bounced, and then it, I don't know. Weird all around. Would have been shock absorber, bunny hop, not a massive long jump like that. Yeah, it would have been, I would believe, like a boom boom for sure. But I'm not trying to defend my landing here. I know we're always, pilots are the best at making excuses. That was a terrible landing. Should have gone around, but I have to pee. I'm hungry and I want to go fishing, so I didn't want to go around for a third time. However, this is a beautiful lesson of what not to do and why you don't save the landing, because that is 100% realistic. When you get down real slow like that, there's nothing else you can do. Let's stop this replay and let's load the go around. So we're going to load the go around. We'll watch that one. All right, so this is us coming into 2.8's correction, 1.9. And I'm going to zoom it forward a little bit here. All the way down. That's normal. That's just a thing. We'll get sail going. Ramon says, I appreciate the lesson. Always good to learn. Indeed. Now, I mean, that's 100% that's why you don't save a landing. If you learn anything on today's stream, that should be exactly why. You never want to save either a high bounce or a high float or anything like that, because you are gonna smack down and you get real close to tail strike. I saw who said that in the chat there. Yeah, that 10 degrees, we're getting close on a 320. It's 11.7. So wait, what is it? 9.5, 11 and 313. So yeah, it was real close. So there we go. Look, there's that high float again. Beautiful decision. Go around, spool them up, and get out of here. Let's watch that again. Steven had a 358 with a 10 knot crosswind gusting its way. Nice, man. Way better than mine. Let's watch this one here. See passenger view. You're screaming, pitch, pitch. Yeah, it would. Definitely. Pitch, pitch. You don't want to hear that. Oh, yeah. That's the float. Go around. Go around flaps. Flaps come to 3. Positive rate. Gear up. And now you're in a takeoff profile. Pretty good go around. That was pretty good go around. So take the go around as a lesson of what to do on this stream. Don't take the landing as of what to do. Guys, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me today on this flight. I hope you enjoyed this stream as much as I have. I had a blast talking to you, being able to hang out again with everybody. So look forward to seeing you guys again here soon, either tomorrow or on the weekend at some point here. So thank you to everybody who donated, all the membership donos, the super chats, and bank angle checks. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for smashing that like button for me if you haven't already. Hit it before you leave this video. And until next time, see yous in chat. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. Happy New Year. See ya.